This big matchup here tonight on a week 9 on a Thursday night as we are at Rio Grande City, home tonight of the Grulla Gators. This also hosts the Rio Grande City Rattlers. They'll be here tomorrow night, but tonight it's the home of the Gators, and they're taking on the LaFeria Lions. We're on a rain delay right now as we are on the pregame show. Joe Bowling, Evie Vasquez, Rudy Zamaripa Jr., and as you can see, an empty field out there. We should have kicked this thing off at 7 o'clock, but right at 7:01, they had to vacate the field, and they asked the fans to leave the premises. Well, the LaFeria fans decided to tough it out. They're over there on the visiting side, the fans that made it over here. Neither team has made it back on the field. They have to go a mandatory 30 minutes before they can allow anyone to come back on this field, and that's 30 minutes from the last lightning strike. We know we had one right at 7 o'clock. We have not had indication that there's been any additional lightning strikes, and as it's gotten darker, we haven't seen any lightning strikes. So, Evie, I think 7:30, 7:40, we should have a kickoff of this football game. I'm no meteorologist, though, by far.
Yeah, we're not Brian Hill or Kevin Smith, right? But Mr. Smith. But again, we're still here in this weather delay, and again, as Joe was saying, as it's getting darker, we have not seen any signs of lightning, and we're hoping that it stays like that. We're looking forward to a good game, and I know that they traveled all the way down here to Rio Grande City to play. So again, speaking for the kids, I know that they want to play and they're ready. So we're hoping that all signals are green lights and that we're able to get some action pretty soon.
This is just part of our broadcast schedule here tonight. Good news is, as far as trying to track weather, the Mission game, which is just down the road, is being played. They have no rain delays there. A Mission Veterans game is on, taking on Pace. That's at Tom Landry Stadium. That's not so far away. And the way the wind's blowing, Evie, if there were something coming, it would be coming from that direction first. I think that lightning was off to our north on a cell that we were watching that moved on out of the wayside. I don't think there's anything coming at us. And if it is, we may see that from the Mission Veterans game at Tom Landry Stadium before we see anything on this one here. So we're on an extended pregame show for the LaFeria Lions and the Grulla Gators. If you were joining us earlier, we went through a pregame show, and we'll do it again for the fans that didn't attend our broadcast. Those that are watching our game, we do ask on our social media to assist us in a big way, if you will. The fans that normally are watching on our Facebook, we ask if you share the link. If you're on the Facebook and you're watching the game, share the link. It truly helps grow the numbers as far as getting the word out. I know we've done a lot of work in the last 2 years to get the word out about Rio Sports Live, but there is a multitude of fans who still are unaware of what Rio Sports Life is all about. And so if you are watching it on Facebook, please share the link and pass the word to additional fans out there who may not be aware of this game. YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure you subscribe to the channel. It does help when we're out talking to advertisers on trying to fund this thing and keep it going. And they always ask first and foremost, what are your numbers? What are your numbers? Well, I can proudly say that I just showed a number to Evie and to Rudy. We have reached our 1 millionth view on YouTube. It happened over the past 24 hours on Rio Sports Live in less than, or right at 2 years, 1 million views on YouTube alone. So we do thank every fan out there that has been watching our games. No sign of the teams yet, Evie. We've still got a few minutes, and coaches were talking to me before the game that they were going to have to adjust the way this game was going to be played because it's a Thursday night. Now you take the factor in that you were ready to kick off the game. You were on the field. Your kick return team, your kickoff team was out there. Now you had to leave. You had to get on the buses. And depending on how long they give them to warm up, you may have to walk off the bus, walk on the sideline, and kick this thing off. So it further disrupts your chemistry of how you normally go about going your business week in and week out for football games.
Yeah, you do. And again, it's not just, it's a coach's nightmare. Again, you prep, you prepare, you get your players psyched, you get your game plan going. You talk to your players, you're ready to go. You're, like Joe said, you're on the field. And then all of a sudden there's a delay. So again, anything that disrupts a rhythm, like Joe was saying, it kind of goes against not just you, but your opponent as well. So, again, as a matter of fact, I can probably assure you the coaches are telling them right now, stay focused. That's the number one thing, stay focused. This is just a little bump on the road. As they are coming back on the field, we have La Grulla, the home team, coming in first. But again, they're going to have additional time to warm up again, as Joe was saying. So now we're going to have to wait for them to warm up. And those are good signs already, saying meaning the officials have allowed them on the field. And the game, as it looks right now, it's going on.
So we made it through the 30-minute wait period after the lightning strike. And the sign the Gators are on the field is a good indicator that we are, again, about 10 to 15 minutes from kicking this thing off. No sign of the Lions yet. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to run over our keys to the game, and we'll get you set. Looks like we're going to have some football tonight at Rio Grande City as the Gators are taking on the LaFeria Lions. This is Rio Sports Live.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Start the new year off right. Alpha Men's Primary Care wants to remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
Back here at Rio Grande City as the Grulla Gators are out stretching out. Another sign that we are getting closer to football is that the officials are coming in from the north side, as well as the LaFeria Lions walking towards they'll make their way to the sideline, and we'll indeed have the kickoff. Want to run over our keys to the game before we start this. Also want to pass along a word that we welcome aboard as one of our advertisers, the LaFeria Cafe, formerly the Santa Rosa Cafe, and now it is the LaFeria Cafe joining us as one of our new advertisers. You'll be seeing their commercials starting next week. Well, we appreciate Cindy and the gang joining up and being part of our broadcast. Lions making their way out there. Let's take a look at these Hacienda Ford keys to the game. Hacienda Ford located in Edinburgh, Texas, and they market for a new car, a used car, or service to your car. Then stop by Hacienda Ford in Edinburgh, Texas. Our keys to the game for the LaFeria Lions on the visiting side: pass rush. They're going to be facing a team that can throw the football, can stretch the field, and has players that can go get the ball. So you disrupt that first and foremost by bringing a big pass rush. Lions up front certainly can do that. On the offensive side, the Lions do have all that firepower as well, and they need to utilize that. Go vertical. Take this team and put them in a catch-up position from the word go, and you can do that going to your big playmakers. And then for the Lions, I think this is the most important key to the game as far as when I was going down this, and that is stay focused. Next week, they have the Hidalgo Pirates. It's a home game for the Lions, and it could be a wrap of a district title and a wrap of an undefeated season on the regular season side. But first and foremost, you better stay focused here on the road. It's a Thursday. We've talked about that. It's not the normal routine getting ready for a football game. It's a short week of preparation. Now you've had a rain delay. There's all kinds of things that circle on this as coaches that are going to say, trap game. If you lose it, there's reasons why, and these are the reasons why key to this game is to stay focused for the Lions. For the Grulla Gators, well, again, we talked about the playmakers for the LaFeria Lions, so pressure up front. That front four on the defensive side or front three, whichever line they go with, they're going to have to find a way to get in the secondary or in the backfield of the LaFeria Lions and disrupt that offense some way, somehow. Shut down the run, shut down the quarterback's escapability. Some way or another, pressure up front is going to have to come from the Gators. Somebody's going to have to step up. Nothing over the top. The secondary, if you're going to commit up the middle to try to shut down some things and bring some pressure for the Lions, then you have to make sure you don't get beat over the top with a big play. You can take some hits as far as plays downfield, but limit yards after the catch and definitely nothing over the top. Don't get beat deep by these receivers. And then for the Grulla Gators, if we're talking about the Lions staying focused, then indeed the Gators need to take advantage and possibly catch this team off guard. Hit them hard, come out here, play hard on your home field, and play with nothing to lose, and the mentality just may catch this team off guard, and you walk off the field with a victory. A hard-fought one, but you can get a victory if you're the home team for the Grulla Gators. Again, expanding on that, Evie Vasquez, your thoughts?
Yeah, again, Joe really elaborated as far as you're playing on a Thursday. You're trying to come back from a weather delay and just trying to stay focused on this game if you're the Lions. They have something to improve, as I talked about earlier. They're the ones that need to continue to win, need to continue to get better throughout this season because, again, it's a short district because there's only 4 teams in your district, maybe even 5, but it's a very small district. So, again, you have to make your games count. That's what I'm trying to say. So this is one of those games, and, again, they prepared. It's a short week. They're trying to come back on the field and stay focused. They have a lot of senior leadership in this team when it comes to the Lions. They're expecting a lot of big things from them in the playoffs. So they're really going to have to get into it today. And then if you're the Grulla Gators, you're the team that has nothing to lose. You're the ones that play Gator football like you're used to. You have a lot of players, like we talked about earlier, going 2 ways. Can you step up, and can your defensive line stop the ground game of the Lions? Because, again, you have a very mobile, a very run-savvy quarterback in the Lions, and he could also throw the ball. He have very, very good, experienced receivers. So can the Grulla Gator defensive line stop them? They have a lot of good chemistry when it comes to offense in Trujillo and some of these receivers. And, they're not afraid to use players. They have 2 backs that they use and get into the end zone. So, again, the Gators are going to come out here with nothing to lose. They're the ones that are going to try to just, stick with the Lions. And, again, I've talked about it earlier. If they're going to go ahead and do something, they have to start off right away. They cannot expect to go into the second half with a big deficit and expect to stay in the game. If they can do that, I can pretty much almost guarantee a good game if they can stay with the Lions in the first half.
Lions will get the football to start the game as we had the opening coin toss, and the actual Grulla Gators won that coin toss, deferred to the second half, and so they indeed wanted to put their defense on the field to test them out of the gate. And we had a very short warm-up period. That was less than 5 minutes from the time they made it to the field that we're going to kick off. And again, that is a total disruption in the normal process that these teams go through in getting ready for a kickoff in a game. Normally they're going through the school songs, going through the national anthem, running out of the tunnel, going to the sidelines, doing the coin toss, and then you ease your way into the kickoff. In this case, you're walking on the field, stretching out a bit, and then walking out, kick return team out, ready for the Lions to return this kick. Rudy Zamaripa Jr. on the camera. He's inside the booth. We wanted to protect him from the weather tonight. And so we do appreciate you tuning in. You may see a little bit of fuzziness on the camera. That's just coming through the glass. I think that'll clear up as we move through the broadcast. Kickoff is underway, and it's a short kick going to be fielded by the Lions inside their 15. Dropped, picked back up out across the 15-yard line for the Lions. It's going to be Angel Garcia going to get hit. Football is come loose, and that's going to be picked up by the Gators. It's a turnover to start the game.
Well, I'm still trying to see what they're indicating if they scored it a touchdown. I know it's a fumble, but they might be marking him down.
They marked him down at the 15, yes.
Okay, so they marked him down at the 15. Yeah, that was a little scary there. I don't think the refs kind of knew exactly what was going on either. The Grulla fans and their coaches were cheering on and expecting a touchdown here, but
they didn't return the fumble. But the Gators will take over 1st and 10 from the LaFeria Lion 15-yard line. So a golden opportunity right here for the Gators to jump out on top. 2 backs in the backfield. Jose Trujillo is the quarterback. And we'll take a look at what the playbook is designed with for the Gators in the red zone on a first down play. Running play to the right-hand side with some room down to the 10-yard line, down to about the 9-yard line. Quick carry that time.
Eric Moreno here gaining some yards. Again, that's a new running back for the Gators. Somebody that hasn't seen so many touches. They usually go to Lopez or Huerta.
Got 6 yards and brings up 2nd down and 4 for the Gators. They can still get a first down without getting in the end zone. This is the opening drive of the ball game. Gators trying to run it left-hand side. Trujillo trying to turn the corner. Will be chased out of bounds. Got down around the 5-yard line. Might have gained a half yard on the play. Good coverage over there by Jaime Carriola for the Lions.
Yeah, and that's one thing about Trujillo. You know, if he can't make it happen with his arm, you have to be very careful because he can use his legs and he is very mobile. You know, he reminds me of some of these other quick and mobile quarterbacks that we have here in the Valley.
That is enough for a first down as they mark Trujillo out just outside the 5. And so a 1st and goal for the Grulla Gators. They'll hand it off, this time hitting the backfield, but driving forward. Moreno ends up gaining yardage on that play, despite the fact being hit a good 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you know, this Lions defensive line is going to have to be big here. Can they stop them? That is the question.
Coming off a fumble on the kick return by the LaFeria Lions. And the Grulla Gators now 2nd down and goal just inside the 5. Trujillo keeps 2 backs in the backfield. To his right side is Vidal Lopez. Hasn't touched the ball yet. This time he'll take it on a carry. Left side, hit hard. Knifing through there, disrupting that play was Andrew Rodriguez for the LaFeria Lions. And now 3rd and goal for the Gators on the short gain.
You know, and again, these Gators, they need to go ahead and make their turnovers work for them. The opponent's turnovers work for them. So if they can go ahead and get a quick score here within the first 2 minutes of the game, it's going to be big, and it could be a big indicator of how this game could go.
From the 4, Trujillo sets him down. Single back is Lopez behind him on 3rd and goal. On an action, hands it off and hit in the backfield. Got back to the line of scrimmage, Lopez, and the Lions have stiffened up. No gain. Decision time for the Grulla Gators. A gift wrap turnover to start this game.
Yeah, you would hate to walk away from this with just a kick, but again, they're going to talk it over as the Gators call a timeout.
Grullas want to talk it over. We have our game's first turnover. Grulla trying to capitalize. We'll have a decision on 4th and goal from the 5 after this.
Thank you for watching Grulla Sports Live.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Service have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy with peace of mind and security.
Help fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together. Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Grulla Gators keep the offense on the field. It's 4th and goal from the 4-yard line of the LaFeria Lions. First quarter action continues. Trujillo rolls out right-hand side, has a man wide open. It's going to be caught. Touchdown, Gators, as he spots Jesse Garza.
Yeah, and again, that's exactly who I expected them to go to. Again, this chemistry, as I talked about earlier, between this quarterback and this receiver, it is, you know, like none other. You know, they're very good. They read off of each other, and that motion that he had, you know, they use it. They used it just last week to get against Hidalgo. So, you know, it's something that they're used to.
6 points on the board as they go on 4th down and goal. And the extra point is away, and it is good for the Grulla Gators. They capitalize on a turnover on the opening kickoff and are on top 7-0. Kickoff coming up after this.
Taken care of, fasted. Now you can get back to your day with a healthy smile.
South Padre Island Golf Club. Come for a visit. Stay for a lifetime.
Hi, we're Mission Veterans, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
We are back here in Rio Grande City, and more bad news from the weather department. We just had a indication there was a lightning strike within the perimeter of the allowed UIL rules, and therefore they just made the announcement they're going to clear this field again. That happened at 7:42. That means we're going to go on a 30-minute delay. And Evie, I promised before we came back on the air this time. We were going to go ahead and roll with it. We'll stick with it. So welcome again to an extension here. It's not necessarily a pregame show. We're in the game. 9:40 left here in the first quarter, and it's a 7-0 game. Gators on top. And if the LaFeria Lions were concerned, and they were, about staying in routine, it's disrupted the routine. They fumbled the opening kickoff. They gave up 6 points. An extra point made it 7. They trail 7-0, and now they have to go another 30 minutes before they get their hands on the football. When you talk about, disrupting a team's chemistry, it's a long drive out here anyway, and this is a nightmare start for the LaFeria Lions.
Right, and the thing is that when you talk about, let's say, for example, basketball, you get a lot more possessions to kind of make up or try to respond to anything that happens. And when it comes to football, the possessions are not so many. So what's going on here, you just got scored on, and you were about to look to respond, and then bam, they stop you one more time, and they stop you there. So again, it's going to come down to, again, another delay, and can the Lions come back in here with rhythm and try to come back into this game, 7-0 as it is right now, as the Gators scored in the first 2-3 minutes of the game.
That was the Lions heading off to the north side, where they'll make their way over and out of harm's way. It's not rain. We don't have any rain in this situation, although we were told before this game started that they were kind of expecting if rain was going to move in, it was going to happen about the third quarter. And so instantly you think, well, if you're a wide open, get it up and down the field kind of team, you might want to get your work in and get a comfortable lead before that third quarter, because we've seen wild things happen when rain comes into play, even on these synthetic turf fields. And so now the Lions have to make their way off, and we may be having rain in the mix before the halftime break at this one as the way we go. They did ask the fans to leave the stands. As you can see across the way, the LaFeria fans that made it here are still over there on the sideline, but we're on another rain delay for 30 minutes at Rio Grande City before we resume play here. When we come back, Evie and I will talk talk about some football, and I'll tell you about some additional broadcasts coming your way on Real Sports Live. We're on a rain delay, 7-0 to score. Grulla Gators on the fumble kickoff return and a fourth down conversion. Just seeing some social media stuff. There's a severe thunderstorm moving that way, guys. 30 to 40 mile an hour winds and pea-sized hail. Watch out there. So looks like we may be in for a long night here at Rio Grande City just to get this one in. Those fans will scamper if that starts to get rain and hail in the mix. I'll promise you that. We'll take a break. When we come back, again, we'll talk some additional broadcasts. This is Real Sports Live.
Watching Real Sports Live.
Fans, if you want to look your best at the next game, then let Chewy's Custom Sports go to work for you. From custom designs and graphics to mass production in-house. If it's hats, shirts, buttons, mugs, cups, banners, and more, then Chewy's is there for every team and every sport. A veteran-owned company in touch with the community. It's Chewy's Custom Sports in San Benito.
Hi, we're the Lady Diamondbacks, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
At First Community Bank, we believe in small business.
When Jennifer and Jimmy Wilson started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm, they found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
Inmates, you are now property of Cell Block X.
Back here at Rio Grande City, home of the Gators tonight. The Grulla Gators on top of the LaFeria Lions 7-0 as we're in a rain delay. Our second lightning delay. There's no rain, it's lightning. A lightning delay here after we had the opening kickoff. It was fumbled by the LaFeria Lions, recovered by the Grulla Gators at the 15-yard line. They marched the ball down, got it to the 5-yard line, and on a 4th and 5, hit a touchdown pass that put points on the board as Jose Trujillo found Jesse Garza for the score. And that's your score as we're in this break. I want to remind you we have additional broadcasts going on right now. Brownsville Pace is at Mission Veterans. J.R. Gully has the call over there with that one. Also down in Brownsville, we have PSJA Southwest at Brownsville Veterans, and Jacob Young has the call on that one. And at Porter and PSJA Memorial, they're also teed up over there at PSJA Stadium. And last I checked, all of those broadcasts were still going on. So we're in that, I guess you could call it that lucky zone, Evie, where we're in the mix where the Lightning is close enough that it's coming into play for what we're trying to get accomplished here.
Right, and the thing is that I wasn't able to see it. I didn't see the Lightning, but, I mean, again, in my opinion and my eyes don't matter here. The officials saw it, so that's what counts. And, I guess nobody's mad here. The first priority, of course, is student safety, and the officials are just trying to do the job as the best that they can. So, again, we're trying to, stay here and trying to keep you guys up to date on what's going on, and just stay with us. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere as we try to keep you up to date on what's going on here.
Taking a look over at the Mission Veterans game, and that game right now, last I checked, it was a 7-0 score with the Patriots on top against Brownsville Pace. J.R. Gully has a call of that one. Talk about some games. We've got additional broadcasts coming your way tomorrow. We'll be in Los Fresnos as the undefeated District 32 6A Harlingen Cardinals take on Los Fresnos Falcons, who will be looking for their first win in district play. That'll be a good matchup. Laredo Figueroa is at Sherryland Pioneer. JR will be switching over to do the broadcast of that one. San Benito is at Brownsville Hanna. Jacob Young will get a good one there, again sticking with District 32 6A. Mackay Bulldogs are at PSJA. We'll have that broadcast. And this crew, if Evie's game, I know that Rudy's going to be with me, and we'll be at the Rowe Mission game. And those are two teams in district play that are undefeated. So those right now are the ones we have on the list. I'm also looking to see if I can get an announcer for the Sherryland at Mercedes game and Raymondville at Port Isabel. We also have the green light to cover the game, but again, I'm still always looking for broadcasters on the announcing side to be a part of the broadcast. I want to remind you we've got additional broadcasts coming up. On Monday, we'll have the McAllen 8-on-8 Men's Football League, as that started off this past Monday, and we'll pick that up in stream. And then on Saturday, we have some volleyball action that we'll be bringing you. And I'm kind of waiting to see what's going to happen as far as the standings go. I want to get a good look at that tonight and tomorrow before we pull the trigger on where we're going to be covering volleyball. I already know that we have some potential and near locked-in play-in or position games that are already being scheduled. So you volleyball fans will get a sneak preview of some of the teams, which will be, for all practical purposes, in a playoff-type scenario, as we'll have some play-in games for teams that are on the bubble, and we'll have some position games for teams that are vying for a second or third spot, or in some cases a first and second spot. So we'll keep you posted as far as where we'll be on those broadcasts. Basketball fans, fear not. Basketball season started this week with practice on the girls' side. Boys start practice this coming Wednesday, and our first broadcast of games will come your way November 14th and 15th with the first tournaments. Before that, we'll have some Tuesday action. And between November 14th and December 27th, we've got about 305 basketball games that we should bring you live on Rio Sports Live. And that's while at the same time we'll be covering playoff volleyball and taking football season as far as it rides with the teams involved in the Rio Grande Valley. My cough is still with me. I should let Evie talk for the entire 30 minutes. Evie, again, a busy week and some big games coming up even tomorrow night.
Yeah, so of course, when we talk about sports, this is my favorite time of the year because not only in professional sports do you have the World Series going on, you have the beginning of basketball season, and you have football going on. And then when it comes to high school, you're just starting, the basketball and volleyball is wrapping up. And again, it's never a dull moment when it comes to volleyball in the RGV because, again, we have some very, very good teams from, all different divisions. And they're always going deep into the playoffs. If it's not Vets, it's McAllen Memorial making some noise, and when it comes to the football, as we were talking about earlier, teams already start to define their seasons and they start to make their mark in the playoffs and start making those last and last of the season stretches. So again, this is my favorite time of the year. This weather delay here, this weather delay just puts up, I guess if you want to say it, it's just another note and another clue to where we're winding down that time of year where, it's excitement and athletes everywhere and sports everywhere. So, again, looking forward to whatever we're headed to, whatever we've got going on in the near future because, again, it's going to be some good games coming up.
Well, you're the Grulla Gators. Let's get back to this game. You're the Grulla Gators. You're up 7-0, and as you have an extended period, an additional 30 minutes to get your team, quote, fired up and ready to begin this football game. You're up 7-0, Evie, and this is a perfect opportunity for coach to look his player in the eye and say, hey, they're on your turf. They're out of sync. Let's keep them there, and let's shock this place with a victory.
Yes, if you're the Grulla coach, you said you just proved yourself in those 3 minutes. Imagine what you can do this rest of the game. You have a whole game in front of you to do just what you did in those 3 minutes. And again, you saw a glimpse of what this Grulla team already does in 3 minutes. They're mobile. Okay, like we talked about. The quarterback, he is good on his feet. He is not afraid to throw the ball in the air. He's got some good receivers, veteran receivers who can come down with it. He has a good team around him. Can he bring those pieces together? So again, they show their true colors in those 3 minutes. So the coach, if you're Coach Gonzalez right now, Abel Gonzalez, you are telling your team, you showed what you can do. You have the whole game in front of you. It is your job to stay focused and continue to do just that. Don't worry about the weather. Worry about the game. Worry about the game. It's just like if you're going in between quarters or halves. You're just going in between. It's just a little break. Stay focused. So you don't go back to the drawing board. You already talked about your pregame. There's only so much pregame and whiteboard and markers that you can use. Right now, all you're trying to do is just get with your assistant coaches, your position coaches, continue to just put into your mindset that we've got a game in front of us. The game is not over yet. It's just started.
Meanwhile, the LaFeria Lions and Coach Oscar Salinas are, if he did indeed tell his team, beware of this game, don't be looking ahead to the Hidalgo Pirate game. If that was part of his preparation for this week's game, he can now look him in the eye and say, I told you so. Bad things can happen if you overlook a football team, and a fumble on the opening kickoff return certainly opened up the gate. It's not a huge crowd here on hand on either side. The Lions didn't bring a big crowd. The Gators didn't bring a crowd. It just doesn't have that feel to a normal football game, and right now things aren't normal. Now I want to focus again over on the flags on the north side. They were unfurled and blowing at a heavy pace, and right now they were still, they're blowing a little bit, but either that wind is changing or it's dying down as now they unfurl again. But there for a while, they were completely standing still as we are in a holding pattern. We'll take a break. When we come back, Evie and I will continue to talk it over. I may even ask her about some basketball. NBA style. We'll talk a little bit. Just turn this into a sports talk show on the fly. Back after this.
East High School. Thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
Hi, we're PJ Lady Bears, and thank you for watching Rio Sports Live. Go! for watching Real Sports Live.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Back here in Rio Grande City, Texas on a Thursday night, Rudy Zamaripa Jr. Just trying to keep the camera active and find something that's happening. Right now he's on the flags, and you can't go on the field. There's nothing going on there. You're welcome again to a lightning delay, the second lightning delay since we tried to get this game started. The first one happened at 7 o'clock. Second one happened right about 7:42. So if all things come into play, we'll be going on about 8:15. We'll resume play here in this one, and hopefully that's the last lightning we have to deal with before this one goes. Evie Vasquez, again, we talk about this time of year. Volleyball season on the high school level is winding down. Just a couple of games left in district play before they start pairing off for the playoffs. Football just a couple of weeks away. We'll already have been through the regular season on the high school football. High school basketball has already started. Girls practice started on Wednesday. Boys will start this coming Wednesday. Just got a halftime score given to us at the Mission Vets game. That's 7-0 Mission Vets at halftime. And here we are, 9:40 left in the first quarter and a rain delay, a lightning delay, if we will. So, again, we're there. But you've got the boys and girls basketball. We also had soccer teams out on the field the last couple of days that are getting ready to start practicing for their regular season. Then you look on the Major League side. Major League Baseball going on with the World Series and the Astros taking on the Washington Nationals. On the football side, they're knee-deep in the NFL season. That's going on full tilt. And throw in the NBA, which started on Tuesday night. And so across the board, sports galore this time of year, and just around the corner, college basketball, and then we could just keep going. But right now, you could turn on any given channel. If it has sports involved and you're not certain what kind of sport's going to be on there, it's that wide open right now.
Right, it's that wide open, and as Joe was saying, anywhere you look at it right now, you have something to look at. It doesn't matter if you like volleyball, if you like soccer, it's going to be there. And again, I even posted on my Twitter and on my Facebook, as much as fun as the baseball has been, I am so glad basketball is back, because, basketball just gives that extra excitement to, in my opinion at least, to everything else that's going around. So again, we're looking at some of these high school kids and as they prepare, because again, a lot of these kids, we forget that, yes, we're in the RGV, but a lot of these kids are actually preparing to continue, and as the years go by, we see more and more numbers in kids going to play in college. So again, these kids, these games mean a lot to them. So again, going forward, like we talk about playoffs and so on and so forth, this is a very meaningful time for students. We're talking about the fans' perspective right now, but you can't forget about the students right now. They're really trying to wind down their seasons and trying to make something happen. So kudos to them and all these students just trying to make it happen for themselves after their high school careers. But again, just like Joe said, anywhere you look at right now, sports is everywhere around, and it's no better time in the season if you ask me.
I want to talk about as well as college football is also right in the thick of things. They're about to come out with their first postseason polls as far as the playoff contention. So don't want to shy away from those football fans that are out there as well. Let's go ahead and talk a little basketball. Evie, coming from your wheelhouse, if we will. We appreciate always you being a part of this broadcast on the football side of things. But when we plucked you out, we knew we took you out of your comfort zone of basketball and put you in these football press boxes, which you're doing a terrific job. But let's talk a little bit about your wheelhouse, and let's go ahead and talk about the NBA. We've got some time here while we're waiting, and, indeed, the season started with a lot of question marks, and a lot of the question marks revolved around there's new personnel at various locations, and what was going to be the time limit as far as gelling certain players together, players understanding new roles, and teams understanding the ability to compete at another level with different opponents who may be in the mix as far as the big dogs, if you will, that you have to chop down. First and foremost, let's start with the team that you're most familiar with, the team you root for, and let's talk about your thoughts on the Lakers.
On my Lakers, yes. Again, we were able to catch the very first season, the first game of the season on Tuesday, and it's something that I was really looking forward to because again, we don't really have that one dominant team in the NBA. Before, you used to look at the West and say, okay, well, you have two teams coming out. Whoever wins the West is taking it over. No, it's not like that anymore. And the Lakers are. I'm happy to say this. They're back in it just because, again, they were able to get AD, and they're gonna be able to go ahead and give LeBron somebody who's going to be able to take some of that pressure off of him. So he's going to have somebody to give the ball to, and he's going to become a little bit more of a facilitator, and so I loved the first game. There was a few things that I would change, but again, we still have some key players missing. Rondo just playing tonight for the first time in the season. Kuzma's still out for about approximately another 4 to 5 weeks, so he's still about a month away. So I like the direction we're going. It's still really early, like you said, it's just starting. But I like what I saw. I had someone told me, and I'll even say it was Rudy here. They got out coached on Tuesday, and to a certain extent, I'll say that they were out coached, by Doc Rivers. But I mean, it's Doc Rivers, and coaching, you really can't do anything about it. At the end of the day, the players is the NBA. It's the pros. They're the ones that are going to come onto the game, and they're the ones that are going to have to produce. So looking forward to what the Lakers got, and other teams that we're going to have in the mix. Of course, the whole West, if you go down the whole roster in the West teams, anybody's going to be anybody's game. They've created an NBA now where every team pretty much has two good players. So it's going to end up to who can chem the most, who can go ahead and build the best chemistry and make it happen.
We're still on a lightning delay here at Rio Grande City. Those fans that are just tuning in, we will have high school football back on the air here as soon as we have the two teams arrive, and we're expecting that to happen in the next 8 to 10 minutes. So while we're doing that, we're just talking a little extra bonus sports, if you will, and Evie Vasquez being alongside a huge basketball fan and talking a little bit about the Lakers. I know from a Laker perspective, one big main factor was not just the fact of the AD acquisition and the Rondo and Kuzma being in the mix, but LeBron coming back this year. It wasn't new to LeBron, but what was new to LeBron was the faces around him. And so I ask you off the air, I'll ask you again on the air here. My thoughts were he looked like a player that was trying to dissect what exactly is my role. I know I'm a dominating player. I'm one of the top players in the NBA. But what do I need to do to help this team win? And, did he get caught up in, took that too far, and the game got out of hand, you're down 8 late in the game, versus I want to see if some other players can make some plays on this team. Did he take that too far? Did it get out of hand? Or was that just Kawhi Leonard saying, I got you?
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what you just said right now because, again, they started off the game very, very dominant, and they outscored, they jumped out to like an 11-point lead right away, right off the gates, and the Clippers were basically like stunned, if you want to, find a word. So they were stunned at the beginning, and then little by little they started chipping back. But again, to answer your question, LeBron, it kind of seemed to me that he was trying to find himself. He was trying to see how much can I actually push AD? How much can I actually give him the ball? There was instances where, he kind of looked for him a little bit too much, if you ask me. But again, they're just trying to find themselves. And one of the biggest questions coming into tonight was, what is Rondo going to do? Because, again, LeBron had the ball, basically the whole entire game, bringing it up the floor. So, again, it's going to be interesting. And once they find that, I think they'll be okay. LeBron, he still has the green light, like we talked about earlier. He's not. It's his team. It's still going to go through him. The coach is not going to take his green light away. If he needs to be dominant and take over, he will go to the rim, and he'll try to score and try to get this team. But, again, now he's got help. And it's this later part of his career, he's going to have to be that person to lead them into a championship.
I think it's
going to go through him.
I think it's one of those teams that truly is going to be defined by don't judge by what you see right now. This team could transform into something totally different by midseason and could change again as they make a playoff run, and could change again as they get in the playoffs. They have that many moving parts that could transform that team into a different look completely with just the personnel they have right now.
Yeah, and again, it's really early to, like you said, to judge anybody. But one thing that I can say is the teams around in the league are so good that if they get a lead, it'll be very hard to make up that deficit. So let's say you fall, 7-10 games behind, and for you to be able to catch up is going to be very hard, because every single day you're going to get a competitive team, so you cannot sleep. Do you have to be consistent? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You have to be consistent throughout, but it's still really early, and you don't really have to, measure yourself right now. Measure yourself as it goes later on this season.
Segue for you fans. Again, we're talking with Evie Vasquez, who's a big fan of the LA Lakers, also a big basketball junkie, as a lot of us. Yours truly. Love the game of basketball. Lakers played the Clippers this week, and let me transition that into one of our broadcasts, or at least the teams we're covering that we broadcast for. Mark the calendar, and more importantly, make a visit to Santa Rosa or San Perlita before Thanksgiving weekend. On Friday, the 29th, which is the Friday after Thanksgiving, Santa Rosa and San Perlita will be playing before a Spurs game in San Antonio at the AT&T Center, and that is against the Clippers. So the LA Clippers in town. Kawhi Leonard makes a return to San Antonio for the first time, and fans of high school sports will get to see two teams that made it to the regional tournament last year, who have a ton of talent to returning, San Perlita and Santa Rosa. Tickets are on sale at each school, and I believe the ticket cost is $50, and that gets you admission to the high school game and also gets you admission to the NBA game, which is the Spurs and the Clippers. And so we want to be sure that you fans who are out there who are basketball junkies understand that there's some neat stuff there, and anytime you can have some high school players playing before an NBA game at an NBA facility, Evie, that's got to be a once-in-a-lifetime memory.
Yes, it has to. It definitely has to. One of one of the furthest memories that I have from high school is just that, being able to visit a Spurs facility and being able to actually walk on their floor before a game and actually being able to take a shot and experience that whole thing. That was the year where, we had Coach Gar here, and again, it was a big year for us there here in Roma. So again, it's big for the kids, and I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy that the kids are going to get to experience it, because just like you said, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and the kids work so hard. So I love the fact what the Spurs are doing, and this is just a small taste of what the Spurs do, because they're very active out in the community. So them lending out their facilities is something very, very good.
Again, that is the November 29th. And fans who are interested in, and I encourage fans out there, get behind this thing. And, it's a holiday weekend, I know, but it's the day after Thanksgiving, and, a good opportunity. As the Grulla Gators make their way back on the football field, on the north side, the officials have made their way towards the field, and right behind them, the LaFeria Lions. So we're going to indeed be able to resume play. I'm told now that there is a severe thunderstorm warning in Starr County. Hopefully that's on western Starr County. You can stay out there, and let's keep it from the east side, which is where we're stationed here at Rio Grande City. Right now, no rain and no lightning, and two teams making their way back onto the football field. But again, fans, $50, I believe, is the cost. I was talking to the coaches for both teams. $50, and that is being sold at Santa Rosa and at San Perlita. And that gets you admission to the high school game on the Friday after Thanksgiving, and it also allows you into the AT&T Center for the game against the San Antonio Spurs and the LA Clippers. If you haven't experienced NBA basketball in person, I encourage you to at least make one trip if you're a basketball nut at all, and if you're a fan of high school sports, well, again, go up there and support two teams that are going to be playing in San Antonio from the Rio Grande Valley, who both represented the area in the regional tournament last year at the respected class levels, Santa Rosa and San Perlita. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hopefully resume play with a kickoff. It's not the opening kickoff. Gators are on top 7-0. Lions get the ball for a second time, and hopefully it's right after this.
Go to work for you. From custom designs and graphics to mass production in-house. If it's hats, shirts, buttons, mugs, cups, banners, and more, then Chewy's is there for every team and every sport. A veteran-owned company in touch with the community. It's Chewy's Custom Sports in San Benito.
Willkommen to Welcome to Hacienda Ford's Trucktoberfest.
Trucktoberfest is the biggest sale of the year on new trucks and SUVs at Hacienda Ford. Now, no matter what options you want, it's at Hacienda Ford. Right now, get a 2019 Ford Expedition for 0% interest for 72 months plus $2,000 bonus cash.
Trucktoberfest means Hacienda has it.
Back here as the LaFeria Lions make their way to the sideline again, we're going to work on that focus as Rudy is having fits with the camera tonight, trying to keep the focus in. That's not even close right there, but he'll get that dialed in. We kept the camera indoors inside the press box tonight. There it is, Rudy, right there. Perfect. No, don't go zooming in. Going to do some teaching here on the fly. We kept the camera inside because of the fact that we were expecting rain before this game was over. If we had the camera outside, we would have to be scrambling to move it around. Right now, we're safe and secure inside the press box at the home of the Rio Grande City Rattlers and the Grulla Gators in Rio Grande City, Texas. So fans, again, bear with us just a little bit. And, hey, take solace in the fact that at least we can bring you live video on a Thursday night. The UIL curtain isn't pulled across as it is on Friday nights, which I'll have fans again complaining to me. I know I will when we're broadcasting our games tomorrow. That Row Mission game from Tom Landry Stadium is a big one, and a lot of fans will want to tune in, and they'll want to watch that game. Next week, when the Battle of the Arroyo takes place, Harlingen South, I'm hearing that game is already sold out, and I want to throw a note out there to fans. If it indeed is a sellout, and you can get the schools to publish that it's a sellout, there are no tickets available, there are some things we can do to apply for some broadcast rights. So we may be able to go after the broadcast rights on that one. Oh, by the way, they do attach a $1,000 price tag to that, as it would be for a playoff. So that may curb us right there. Kickoff by the Gators, and away we go to resume play here in the first quarter. Lions will watch it go into the end zone, and as it drifts there, the LaFeria Lions will send the offense out onto the field for a first time in the ball game. Evie, that's the second kickoff of the game. They fumbled the first time around, and now we get to see this Lions team down 7-0 as we start play.
Right, which is something that they're not very used to when it comes to, being down on the scoreboard. They're used to scoring at bunches. So, again, it's going to be a true test, and they're going to have to show their true colors as they come back on, in the first snap for them is coming on.
Dario Sanchez is the quarterback to start this drive. Sanchez stands in the backfield. Angel Garcia takes a handoff. Running left side, he's going to be hit quickly. Brought down, might have lost a half yard on the first down play.
And I think that the Gators defensive line heard me when they said, "Can you show up today?" And they just proved it there in that first snap. They stopped him right on his tracks.
No gain for Garcia. Second down and 10 for the LaFeria Lions. We're in the first quarter of play. Lions trailing 7-0. Quick rollout, left-hand side. Sanchez looks to throw, looks for a deep ball downfield. That is picked off by the Gators. Easy pickings that time, Leroy Briones.
Yeah, he was able to come up. That ball was way underthrown, as the receiver was clearly about 3-4 yards ahead of him. But again, third play of the game for the Lions, and they turn it over again.
That brings out the Grulla Gators offense, and if the first drive was gift-wrapped, that was inside the red zone, this would be a perfect spot to start a drive on any other play. As far as the Grulla Gators, short field to work with. Ball spotted at their own 47-yard line as they bring the offense on the field. Jose Trujillo, 1 for 1 on drives and getting points on the board, and he sets him down on a first down play. Hands it off up the middle, running room across the 50, 45, down to the 42-yard line, to the 41. That's a first down, a carry by Vidal Lopez.
Yeah, and and a big tackle there by Eric Luna, the linebacker, as he was able to get the first down, and that's going to be big. Lopez is going to be big for the Gators if they're going to be able to do nothing again, because, again, they have to score if you want to beat these Lions.
16 yards on the carry by Vidal Lopez. That's now 3 carries for 17 yards total. And a new set of downs in Lion territory for the Grulla Gators. Trujillo hands the ball off again to Lopez. No, keeps it on a read option. Swings a pass left side and overthrows his man. Had Jesse Garza on the flats.
Yeah, Garza, not knowing what Trujillo wanted to do there, they kind of lost signals there and turned ball down.
Incomplete pass on the play. That was a good ball fake that time by Jose Trujillo as he faked that handoff inside to Vidal Lopez. It brings up 2nd and long for the Gators, 2nd and 10. And that's the only thing that you can get in a bad situation in a hurry against this active defensive line. Lions bringing it forward. Now there's a pass right side. That's going to be caught on the right sideline. Getting out of bounds, Santiago Cifuentes on the catch.
Yeah, and that play by design there, they wanted to get as close as they could to the sideline because, again, they're trying to convert as much as they can these first 2 downs because they know that they have to keep the Lions on their toes. So expect for them to go to the air early on in their possessions.
8 yards on the gain. Brings up 3rd down, a very manageable. Just call it about 2.5. They have to get it inside the Lion 31-yard line for the Gators to keep this drive alive, or they'll have to gamble on 4th down. Trujillo on a 3rd down, hands it off up the middle, running play right or left side, and that's going to be close to 1st down yardage. Lopez again on the carry. We'll take a look at the spot.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm expecting from the Gators. Again, you look to getting some yardage in this 1st, 2nd down, and your goal is to go ahead and cross those chains in this 3rd down. So, again, it'll be right on the line, but it looks like they're going to be short.
Didn't make it, so a yard short. If you're just joining us, the touchdown scored by the Grulla Gators came on a 4th and goal from the 5. They look to line up here on a 4th and 1 and go for it here. Trujillo swings a pass left side. That's caught, and a 1st down just inside the 31 on a catch by Jesse Garza. Forward progress will get him enough for a 1st down, but by less than a football.
Yeah, and again, the Lions chose to go into a zone defense, so that allowed them, to give Trujillo the receiver that space to get that 1st down.
It will be enough for a 1st down, and they will move the chains for the Grulla Gators, so that's 2 for 2 on 4th down conversions here in the 1st quarter of play. And if you had to script this out for the Grulla Gators on how best to start a football game, 2 turnovers, 2 conversions on 4th down, and a new set of downs here. Lopez on a running play off left tackle, takes it inside the 30, bangs down to the 27, 5 more yards for Lopez. Check that, call it a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 coming up.
Yeah, again, the way that the Gators are moving, they're trying to mix it up, and they're clearly trying to keep these Lions on their toes. So, it'll be a 2nd and about 6.
1st quarter, if you're just joining us, we've had a couple of lightning delays here that have really disrupted the flow of this game. But the Gators taking advantage thus far. Lead 7-0 and have the ball nearing the halfway point of this 1st quarter. Looking for a bundle here. Trujillo on a deep drop, being chased, being hit, gets rid of the football. That's nearly picked off, incomplete. That was a near gift-wrap interception.
Yeah, and credit Eric Luna on that quarterback hurry there. He was and almost causing an interception. Luna here was able to rush the quarterback. He was able to get to that line pretty easy and almost causing an interception.
Incomplete pass, stops the clock with 6:28 to go here in the 1st quarter. Rudy's still trying to fight with that camera. Just stay a little wide, come in a little zoom. Don't try to fight with that thing through that window. 3rd down play coming up for the Gators. Trujillo drops back again. Here comes pressure, gets rid of the ball, and his receiver fell down inside the 20-yard line. Incomplete pass, and 4th down for the Gators coming up.
The Lions changing it up a little bit here, and they're sending 4. They're sending 4 Lions at a time, so that's already twice back-to-back that they've gotten the quarterback to rush. And if they can continue to do that, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for the Gators.
Pass was intended for Chris Loretta, and he appeared to fall down in his route. Looks like the Gators will go for it. Rolling out Trujillo. Has some room on the right side. A penalty flag is thrown. That's a completed pass. Would have been enough for a 1st down to Jesse Garza. But now we'll take a look at that penalty, which normally is in the place where you would see a hold as a quarterback was rolling out.
Yeah, it's in the backfield, so
So that is a 10-yard.
Lopez getting credit for that foul there.
That's a holding call against the Gators. They would have converted for a third time in this game on a fourth down play. Now they'll face a fourth down still, but now every bit of 16 yards to go as they'll mark the ball back at the 38-yard line. LaFeria Lions and the Gators will switch it up. They take the offense off the field. Punting team comes in, and they'll try to play field position here as JT Trujillo stands back to punt the ball, standing at the midfield stripe. If you're the Lions, you take a breath and say, okay, we withstood that. That could have been disaster. We could have been down 2 scores. Good snap. Trujillo rolls right-hand side, has a ton of time, gets rid of the ball on a kick on the right sideline. It angles out of bounds. They didn't get near the field position they had hoped for. Take a look at the spot as the official walks down the sideline, marks it down at the 12. We'll keep it right here as the LaFeria Lions bring the offense back on the field. Fans watching the game, if you're watching on our social media on Facebook, please, I see a ton of people watching right now, share the link. I assure you that number can double if we can just get some fans to share the link that this game is on and get the word out to additional fans that we're broadcasting tonight from Rio Grande City. Lion football. And on a first down play, Dorian Hernandez in the game. Hands the ball off up the middle, out across the 20, 22-yard line. Angel Garcia on the carry. Bangs forward, nearly got a first down. He carries it for 9. And again, we expected this on the second drive by the LaFeria Lions, that we would see Dorian Hernandez in to run the show. Stays in at quarterback in a shotgun formation. It is indeed a first down after a 10-yard gain on first down on a carry. Sweep this time to the right-hand side. Aaron Trevino in the secondary in a hurry. Wrapped up in tackle, but not before he gets it out to the 37. A big gain, and the Lions are on the move.
Yeah, Aaron Trevino there in motion, who's another quarterback option for the Lions, coming up big here. And again, the big question was how much is Hernandez going to play in? And again, they're trying to keep this winning streak going, so they're going all out right now.
First down play, Hernandez hands it off. Up the middle this time, Garcia hit hard. Fell forward, gained a yard. And second and long coming up. Hernandez has a ton of weapons out there, as did Dario Sanchez, my friends. It doesn't matter who's running the show for this Lion team. They do have weapons. Lined up with a twin receiver left side, a single receiver right side. Pass play, left-hand side in the flats. That's going to be caught now yards after the catch for a first down. As this time they go to Isaiah Reyna. Yet another receiver in the mix.
Yeah, and again, Hernandez showing how good he is here. He was able to fake. He got the line to bite on that fake, and that gave ton of room for Reyna to pick up those yards, and they're going to move the chains as it's a first down.
Hernandez on the completion for 11 yards. First down play, Hernandez for the LaFeria Lions. Drops back to throw again. Swings it right-hand side. That's going to be caught by Caleb Flores. Flores down the right sideline. Stiff arms the man. 30, 25, 20, 15, down to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Lions.
Yeah, he was touched twice, and again, they can't stop him. And that's just how quick LaFeria is to get on the scoreboard. Again, big Caleb Flores, with the big, strong hands and big body, and he was able to easily walk into the end zone.
Penalty flag on the play. A penalty setting back outside the 47. This one may be coming back.
On the offense, number 12. It's a 10-yard penalty for the spot of foul. Remain first down.
So a penalty will take points off the board for the LaFeria Lions. Would have been a big touchdown strike, but we'll come back and reset it now for the LaFeria Lions and Dorian Hernandez. We'll take a look at where they spot this football down. Hernandez on a first down play. Call it 20 yards to go. Sends a man in motion right to left. That's Reyna. Fakes the handoff. Hands it off instead to Garcia. Garcia gets a block. Takes it left-hand side. Garcia down to the 40-yard line. That's a first down. A 20-yard carry. Angel Garcia.
And that's exactly how you answer back. Your team makes a mistake, and that's exactly what the right way to answer back. Come up right back with the big play.
Garcia now on 4 carries. Has 31 yards. Lions on the march here. Swing a pass right-hand side. Nice tackle out in the open field that time, getting over there to make the play. Santiago Cifuentes. Not before a 5-yard gain. They went back to Caleb Flores. Talked about that in the keys of the game. If the Gators want to stay in this, they have to be able to allow catches, but nothing big and nothing over the top. 2nd and 5. Handoff up the middle this time. That's going to be short of first down yardage. Garcia stretches forward, gain 2, 3rd and 3 coming up for the LaFeria Lions, and here's the Gators' chance to make a play on defense.
You know, and one thing that kind of strikes me right away as I see this, you know, Caleb Flores has a one-on-one situation here in this far corner here. One-on-one is going to be very hard to stop.
Hernandez hands it off, running play, and that will be enough for a first down as Garcia just stretches forward. Needed to gain 3, got 4. Moves the chains for the LaFeria Lions. If you're just joining us, the opening kickoff was fumbled by the LaFeria Lions. That turned into a short field and a touchdown on a 4th and goal for the Gators. Handoff again, this time left-hand side, driving forward, getting down to the 25-yard line. Another carry by Garcia. After that, the offense on the field for the first time for the Lions were intercepted. Gators had a short field to work with. Ended up getting called on a late penalty and had to punt the ball. This is the first time that the Lions offense has been moving the ball downfield. Hernandez hands it off to Garcia. Left side this time. He's going to be hit. Drops short of first down yardage. And another 3rd down coming up for the LaFeria Lions.
Yeah, it'll be 3rd and short. I expect them to go to the ground here again and try to get into the red zone.
3rd and 2, Garcia stands to the right-hand side of Dorian Hernandez for the Lions. Hernandez, a deep drop, looks to throw, looking for it all down the middle in the end zone. Caught, touchdown. He goes to Caleb Flores.
And I was right and I was wrong. You know, I expected him to go to the ground, but again, they went to Flores, and that's what I said earlier. If they're going to go ahead and cover Flores with one defender, he's going to be very, very hard to stop here tonight. He's a big kid with good hands. He runs the routes very well, you can tell. And so, again, one-on-one, he's already going to be very hard to stop.
Extra point is coming up for the Lions to try to tie this game up. Kicker is Sergio Rodriguez, left-footed kicker. Wind blowing across the field. They'll fake it. Lions looking to go for 2. Running around in the backfield. Pass is made, dropped, incomplete. And the Gators will get a little momentum. Was there a penalty on that play?
Yeah, there's a flag on the field.
So we'll wait for the call here. Normally that's going to be a hold of some sort.
There's multiple.
Offsides on the defense. Not the distance. Retry.
Instead, it'll be an offsides call against the Gators. So half the distance in for the LaFeria Lions, and they faked a 2-point conversion. And this time they'll leave the kicking team on the field. Again, the holder is Aaron Trevino. That's one of your backup quarterbacks. This time the holder will be Dario Sanchez. He's another one of the quarterbacks in the mix for the Lions. Good snap, ball down, kick up, long, high, and good. 7-7 kickoff coming up. Gators get the football. Lions on the board.
Now you can get back to your day with a healthy smile.
Hi, we're PJ Southwest Avenida. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Truck Techs in Harlingen is your source for lifts, wheels, and tires. Talking trucks of any size, any model, and any year. Specializing in accessories with top-of-the-line products to bring that special look to your truck in a professional way. Lifts, wheels, and tires, with financing available too. Call today or stop by Truck Techs in Harlingen.
LaFeria Gators will get their hands on the football. They send the kick return team onto the field. We're coming to you on a Thursday night from Rio Grande City, Texas. Gators send Jesse Garza back to return this kick. Also, Leroy Briones is back there, and a third man back stands on the left side. I think that's Jose Pereira. Kickoff is a short kick. Fair catch called for and made by the Gators out at their 22-yard line. And so now the Gator offense on the field, and here's where the chess match begins. Gators have had two great field positions to work with, scored on one. Evie came up short in the second. Need to produce here, that Lion offense. You don't want to mark on the field in a hurry.
Yeah, and the thing is, going back a little bit, I have to give that Lions defense some credit. They made some modifications. They made some changes. They were able to get the Gators to go ahead and quickly, force the ball over. They come back. They score quickly, 2 or 3 plays, later. And then, again, we're tied at 7.
First down play for the Grulla Gators. Send a man in motion, hand the ball off on the left tackle, bouncing out near the 30-yard line. 5-yard carry for Vidal Lopez, who now in the game has 6 carries for 28 yards. Check that, that's only a 2-yard gain. I thought he had a lot more momentum than that. So just a 2-yard gain brings up 2nd and 8. In the first quarter of play, it was a back-to-back lightning delays that extended this game. Normally we'd be starting the third quarter. Penalty flags come raining in before this snap. So we'll sort this one out. Normally that's on the offense when they blow the play dead.
Ball start on the offense, number 61. The 5-yard penalty. Break it down.
So a 5-yard penalty against the Grulla Gators will indeed move the ball back inside their 25. We are under a minute left here in the first quarter. Gators will have it on a first down play. Check that, 2nd down. And 14 for Jose Trujillo. Passes it left side. Caught there out across the 30 after the catch after the 35. That should be enough for a first down. Nice play by Roy Guzman after making that catch.
Yeah, and again, the Lions defense giving him that cushion. And Guzman is able to quickly and easily pick up that first down.
Guzman, his first catch. Trujillo now in the game is 3 of 6 for 25 yards. More importantly, that did move the chains for the Grulla Gators. Trujillo on first down. Hands the ball off, running play right side with some room. Eric Moreno nearly broke that. He was tripped up. Gets out to the 45.
Yeah, and that's one of those, we heard that all the way up here. You had the oohs and the ahs as he was hit hard. I wasn't able to catch who the Lion was, who was able to get him. As that brings us down to the end of the first quarter, again, after a couple of delays. But we've got a good game in our hands here as the Gators and the Lions are evened up at 7 as we go in and start the second quarter.
Go ahead and keep it right here as we will have a quick flip. It doesn't take them long to spot that football. I know these officials are wanting to get this game in, knowing that the forecast is calling for weather to move in. And so they will just basically take a stroll. Chain gang will get in place. And the Gators of Grulla will have it, 2nd down and 3 from their own 45-yard line. A lot of things you can do here with the offense for Jose Trujillo. On 2nd and short. Takes a snap, hands the ball off, room again for Moreno. Falls forward across the 50, that's a first down, and that is just outright mash blocking by the Gators and a 7-yard gain for Moreno.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find some of these numbers here, but again, because that's exactly what I was going to say, Joe. This line, this offensive line here by the Gators, this series here have been able to open up some gaps, and they've been able to make it work.
Ricky Slonenwide on that right tackle. Center up front is Pilar Barrera. Right now, they're winning the battle for the Grulla Gators. Handoff this time, it's going to be Lopez. Vidal Lopez in the secondary, got to the 40-yard line. Last man there to make that play was Jordan Torres. Otherwise, Lopez would have taken that to the house. That's a 12-yard gain.
Right, and that's exactly what the Gators have, and that's exactly what they have in their repertoire. They're able to use 2 backs. That's one of the good things about this team. When it comes to the running game, they're able to have 2 options, and they're able to go to 2 different players.
First down play for the Gators from the LaFeria Lions 40-yard line. Two backs in the backfield, joining Trujillo, flanking him either side. As a wide receiver wide left, hands the ball off. Another big play for Moreno down to the 30-yard line, and this is 10 yards a pop right now for the Grulla Gators. That they are just running downhill on this drive.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to change anything up anytime soon. Why change it if it's working? So again, they're moving slowly, but surely they're inching into their end zone.
Gators now with 100 yards of total offense, 75 of that coming on the ground, 32 yards for Moreno. Lopez has 37. They are mixing it up between the two tailbacks. And Trujillo hands it off this time to Lopez. Ducks his head, takes it forward. That's a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 coming up. And even a 4-yard gain for most coaches, they'll take that on first down.
Right. When you're going to the ground, again, you're just trying to see what you can get out of it, and hopefully something big comes from it. But again, 4 yards, they'll take it.
This coming after the LaFeria Lions offense looked so good on that drive by Dorian Hernandez to take it in the end zone and tie this game. Gators trying to answer. Trujillo wants to pass, rolls out left-hand side, directing some traffic, now delivers a ball downfield, and he overthrows his man. Heavy pressure that time as they chase down Trujillo.
Yeah, Daniel Lopez with that quarterback hurry there, and basically causing the quarterback to have to throw it away. No other choice.
Third down now coming up for the Grulla Gators, and this is where the LaFeria Lions defense can get stingy. Does stop the clock with 9:48 remaining in the half. Trujillo on 3rd and long. Keeps Lopez and Moreno in the backfield to either side. Rolls out short side of the field. Got a nice block looking downfield. Lost it in the end zone. That's up for grabs and incomplete. There's a flag on the play as well, so we'll hold on this.
Yeah, Hector Huerta coming up with that pass before the flags, but the thing is that you smell trouble all over that. He was double covered. He was trying to go to one of his big targets, 33, his tight end. Trujillo was.
There's the call. It's a hold on the defense of the LaFeria Lion, and that'll be an automatic first down for the Grulla Gators. And just like that, a red zone possession as they mark the ball down at the 17 of the LaFeria Lions.
Yeah, and if you're the Gators, you just caught a break there because you're going to see Fuentes. He was double covered, and you cough up the ball with an interception, and you still get it back because of a penalty. So, again, that was a break there for them.
First down play for Trujillo. New set of downs from the 17. Hands the ball off, and it's Lopez. Bangs forward, got down to the 11. That's a 5 or a 6-yard gain for Vidal Lopez.
Yeah, that'll be 2nd and short, as they're creeping into the red zone. And again, this is where they can be dangerous again because they do have weapons and they are exploiting them here tonight. They're using the ground, they are using their receivers. So the Gators, if they score here, again, they're in very good terms.
This is where they started their first drive of the game after a fumble on the opening kickoff. They ended up getting it down and converting on a 4th and goal from the 5. Second down here, handoff, it's Moreno. Runs forward, got inside the 8-yard line. That's going to be close to first down yardage, but short by about a yard. Third down coming up, and if you're the Gators, you'll take that as the clock is running. And you can still get a first down without getting in the end zone, and the most important factor in this is you can keep the LaFeria Lions offense on the sidelines.
And that's the thing, is they'll call a timeout.
Gators want to talk it over. Important drive. Lions trying to get in sync. Tie game from Rio Grande City continues after this.
South Padre Island Golf Club. Come for a visit. Stay for a lifetime.
Hi, we're Riley Huskies, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Grulla Gators took a timeout, and Evie Vasquez right now, the LaFeria Lions are blinking they know they're in a football game on a Thursday night.
Yeah, and the thing is that the Gators are standing toe to toe with them, and not that no team has been able to do that against LaFeria, but again, you're expecting to be the dominant team here, coming into a team who's 3-4. You're coming in undefeated. This is something that's you probably weren't expecting.
Grulla Gators on a third down. Send a man in motion left to right. And they'll fake the handoff. Keeper by Trujillo bounces it out right side. Got a block, got inside the 5, down to the 1-yard line. Brought down there. 1st and goal coming up for the Grulla Gators. A nice read by Jose Trujillo.
He was able to follow about 2 or 3 of his offensive players to help him out. And again, red zone, 1st down. New set of downs coming up for the Gators.
Gators on a 1st and goal. They'll mark it down at the 2. In this second quarter. Impressive drive here by the Grulla Gators after the LaFeria Lions marched it downfield with rather ease. Handoff up the middle, right side, Lopez, end zone. Is he in? Yes, touchdown Gators.
Yeah, that took a while for the refs to mark it, but yes, touchdown. As again, they were able to use the ground game again, to make some impact and to cause some noise.
So with 7:50 left here in the first half of play, the Grulla Gators on a Vidal Lopez carry retake the lead, looking for the extra point here. Bad snap. They'll have to run with this football for their life. Pass the ball, and that's going to be covered by the Lions. So no good on the extra point. Kickoff coming up. Gators lead 13-7. Lions get the football after this.
Of Master. Now you can get back to your day with a healthy smile.
At First Community Bank, we believe in small business.
When Jennifer and Jimmy Wilson started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm, they found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
Hi, we're Brownsville veterans, and thanks for watching Real Sports Live.
Before the kickoff, there is a player shaken up on that play. Over on the far side, one of the Lions shaken up a bit, so they took an injury timeout. He appears to be okay walking on the sideline, so we hope he's all right and ready to return to play here in this game. Grulla Gators on top in this one, 13-7 as we're in the second quarter from Rio Grande City. I appreciate you fans tuning into our broadcast wherever you may be from. It's always neat to see where fans are watching the game from. So on social media, give us a shout out where you're tuning in from. And also I ask those on Facebook, please share the link. It truly helps to get the word out to other fans. Those on our YouTube channel, I know we have a lot of fans that are faithful watching on YouTube. Like to watch it on the big screens in various locations. Make sure you subscribe if you're tuning in to YouTube for our first time. And those watching on our Roku channel, welcome aboard there as more and more followers are watching our 24 hours, 7 days a week, all sports on our Roku channel, including going live in games like this. Kickoff to the left sideline. Lions stay in bounds. Try to turn it upfield. This is E.J. Serna. Serna looking for a block, got hit and down at the 20-yard line. And LaFeria Lions offense, so we'll have it at the 20 to start the drive. First and foremost, we'll see if Dorian Hernandez returns to run the show, and he is coming back in the ball game. Mike Sanchez watching in Houston, Texas. Send a shout out in the direction. Thanks for watching us in Houston. Second quarter action here from Rio Grande City. LaFeria Lions and Dorian Hernandez on a first down from the 20. We'll hand it off, running play up the middle. Gets out across the 25. Angel Garcia on the carry. Gains 5 strong yards. He's got 9 carries for 49 yards. Lions have been outgained here in this game, 122 to 111. realistically, this is only the second time the offense has been on the field. First time they were picked on an interception. Second time they got it going. Moved it down and scored. Hernandez swings a quick pass right side. That's going to be caught. Caleb Flores, nice job of catching it. Got to the 30, which is close to first down yardage, thrown backwards. If it's not a first down, it's third and short coming up.
Right, and the thing is that, these corners were on the Gators, they were expecting that short pass, so no gain there.
Dorian Hernandez now 4 of 4 for 57 through the air for the Lions. Third and about a half yard to go. You can open up the playbook here if you're the Lions of LaFeria. They'll run it right-hand side, driving forward out to the 35. Easy first down for Angel Garcia. And the LaFeria Lions move the football downfield on this drive here. But again, you're looking up and trailing if you're the LaFeria Lions. Another running play up the middle. A lot of room in the secondary. Right down the middle. Garcia to the 40. Foot race to the 30. Makes a man miss at the 20. Down to the 15-yard line. First down in the red zone for the LaFeria Lions.
What a run. What a run there. And he was actually, by Garcia, and the thing is that he was actually able to cut back. He originally wanted to get the sideline. He cuts back down the middle, and that's exactly where he finds the gap by this line that they created.
60 yards on the carry for Angel Garcia. He's now got 114 yards on the ground in the first half. From the red zone, first down for the Lions. Hernandez swings a pass right side to Flores on a receiver screen. Got a block, drives down to near the 5. Trapped at the 6. That's a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, nice screen there by the Lions as they were able to get Flores open. And again, now they're lining him up with the receiver next to him, and they're using that screen effectively. So that's the second time that they use that screen.
4 catches now in the game for Caleb Flores for 54 yards. Hernandez hands it off, running play right-hand side. That's in the end zone for the Lions. Touchdown, LaFeria ties it up, an extra point away from taking the lead.
Yeah, and again, Hernandez was calling that, as soon as he handed it off.
He saw that was just a wide open look. I want to make sure on that carry it was 25. I think it was 15 on the carry. And it was. In this case, that's Kian Torres on the carry. For the LaFeria Lions. Extra point coming up. Good snap, ball down, kick up, long, high, and good. LaFeria Lions take the lead. Gators get the football after this.
Inside a top-secret, highly classified government laboratory, an experimental killer virus has breached containment. You and your team have 60 minutes to find the antivirus. Book your adventure today at trappedrgv.com.
Hi fans, today's game is brought to you by New York Life. Best of luck to your team.
And I'm Danielle Goslin, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For over 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation of developing the most successful professionals in the industry.
We help to manage the process from day one and guide you on your way to success. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business,
then we would like to show you how we can help.
Back here in Rio Grande City, 5:25 left in the first half, and LaFeria Lions have the lead for the first time on the evening. They were hit by the turnover bug out of the gate. A couple of fumbles, one interception. Gators took advantage. Gators now returning a kick out across the 15 to the 20 to the right side. That's a short side of the field, 25. Out to the 30, staying inbounds on that return, Leroy Briones. Like he was going to be driven out 10 yards further back. And now mark him down at the 35. And here come the Grulla Lions, who thus far in the game have had answers enough to stay competitive against this unbeaten LaFeria Lion team.
Yeah, if you're the Gators, you're exactly where you want to be right now. You're in striking distance, and again, we talked about it earlier. They've done some of these key of the games, and Joe will talk about them as we get closer to halftime. But again, they've done what they've had to be in the game, and this is exactly where they want to be.
Looking ahead, they will have a chance to be getting the football to start the second half. First down play. Trujillo hands it off, and a delay this time, nothing doing. Vidal Lopez will not get back to the line of scrimmage. First guy back there, Israel Rodriguez, shut that play down in a hurry.
Yeah, in a hurry, and the thing is that he had nowhere to go, as Joe said after that delay. You know, he was looking for a gap and just couldn't find one.
Second and long coming up. Want to remind you fans, we will have playoff coverage coming up, but again, Fox Sports will tax $1,000 to our broadcast if we want to have live video. So enjoy it while we've got it, and we're going to do our best to get the advertisers on board to assist us in the broadcast in the postseason. Pass play, deep ball by Trujillo. That's in traffic downfield. Here comes a penalty flag. Trying to make a move on the ball, Jesse Garza. Interference is going to be called against the Lions.
Yeah, and it looks like that's going to be against Evan Avila.
That was just Trujillo heaving the ball. That was in 1-on-4 coverage and allowing Jesse Garza just to make a play. Garza, one of the leading receivers in the Rio Grande Valley, coming into tonight.
Correction, that's Daniel Valencia, you know, the safety. Just right before he was able to actually reach for the ball, you know, he was able to get him on the chest.
High school football, that's not a spot foul. So that will move the ball enough for a first down for the Grulla Gators. They'll spot it down at their own 49-yard line. Stop the clock with 4:30 remaining here in the half. New set of downs for the Grulla Gators. Jose Trujillo sets him down on first down. Two backs in the backfield. Lions showing some pressure coming up the middle. They'll run it right side, and that is shut down. Nothing there. Big play that time by the Lions defense.
Yeah, Daniel Garza coming up with that big tackle. You know, you had two Lions who barely missed him, and then Daniel comes in and, you know, he says, I'll finish it.
Moreno that time was able to hang on to the football, which was the most important part of that. Anytime you get those defenders right around you, sometimes that's the biggest part of your game. A little bit of rain starting to come in the mix now as it's blowing across the field. And it's blowing right at us. So if it comes in torrents, it could come right at this window. And we may go, we may have the camera on, but you may go more audio than you think, my friends. Running play, Moreno this time gets back out across the 49 to the 50-yard line. Short gain of 4, and more importantly for the Grulla Gators, third and long coming up, 3rd and 9. Here, the LaFeria Lions, you do have all 3 of your timeouts remaining. So if the defense can get a stop here, that offense can get back on the field already with the lead. 3 receivers set to the left-hand side this time for Trujillo. Single back in the backfield. On a long count, Trujillo drops back to throw. Here comes the pressure, gets rid of the ball, right side, that's dropped. Would have been enough for a first down. Then a flag thrown at the end of the play. Extracurricular, I think they're going to flag the Lions.
Yeah, this time it is Avila, and it's going to look like unnecessary roughness here as he was able to. Cifuentes, you know, doesn't come up with the completion, and, you know, Avila still kind of wraps him up and throws him to the ground, so they're going to call that on him.
The play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 27 in the defense. The 15-yard penalty for the Prairie squad. Carries with it, is automatic. First down.
So that'll move the ball downfield for the Grulla Gators. It does so with 3:05 left in the half, and that's a 15-yard penalty, so all the way down to the 35-yard line of the LaFeria Lions. And Jose Trujillo gets a new breath of life into this drive for a second time thanks to a penalty flag for the Gators. This time keeps Lopez and Moreno in the backfield. Overloads the left side with receivers. Single receiver out to the right side for Trujillo. Now a man in motion. Hand off to Lopez. No, it's a swing pass right-hand side. Nice ball fake. This is Garza coming out of the backfield. Short gain as Jesse Garza flanks out. Catches that ball and gains 5 yards for the Gators.
Yeah, and we're going to see how that penalty comes into play here, because again, if you look at both teams and you start comparing their stats, you know, the Gators are very low in turnover as far as penalties, and so are the Lions. But again, we're specifically talking about here tonight. We're going to see if that ends up costing them, because again, we're going into halftime, a game that might, you know, start raining in a bit, so we'll see.
Second down to play for the Gators. Trujillo hands the ball off to Garza, tries to get to the outside. A penalty flag is thrown, and so that will lose 5 yards. They'll stop the clock, but now we'll sort out the penalty yards. It could be 3rd and 10 or 2nd in a bundle if that's a hold against the Gators, which I think it is.
Was that on the coach? There might be a flag on the
There's a second penalty flag thrown, and it may be against the LaFeria Lions sideline. We'll let the official give us the call.
Holding on the offense, number 54, the 10-yard penalty. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the bench, LaFeria. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So a third 15-yard penalty against the LaFeria Lions on this drive alone. Pushes the ball down to the 25-yard line. It was a hold against, you heard the call by the official. It was a hold on the play. That was a rather easy call. And then, and that may be going back to the coach just trying to get in the ear of an official after a couple of costly penalties here in this drive. Clock running. Pass play left-hand side. That's going to be caught for the Gators. Down to about the 21-yard line. Josue Barrera on the catch.
Yeah, and that's a hold there. It might be against Jesse Garza, the receiver, as they try to use a screenplay, but we'll see.
On the offense, number 4.
Yeah, that's against Jesse Garza, you know, as again, the perfect play, you know, they picked up some yards, but again, just, you got to move your feet. You know, I do know that at least about football. If you're going to go ahead and be blocking, you got to continue to move your feet. And just a holding play here by the receiver.
Moves the ball back to the 35-yard line of the LaFeria Lions. Again, to start the second half, the Grulla Gators won the opening coin toss, deferred to the second half, and so they will get the ball. You can see some moisture now forming on that window. We'll do our best to keep these cameras rolling. Trujillo wants to throw. Pressure coming up the middle. Runs away from one man. Gets away, buys some time to the sideline. Stays inbounds, now steps out at the 35. Intense pressure coming in that time.
Michael Elizondo with that quarterback hurry, you know, as his Lion teammates were able to help him out. And again, that's going to be second and super long for the Gators.
1 yard gain for Trujillo. He did a good job of preventing the sack on that play. I'm letting the clock run it out. There's actually 1:29 to go, so I'll keep my clock running. Talk about this sometimes, trying to fly a plane, trying to keep all the buttons pushed in the right direction to keep these broadcasts rolling. Trujillo wants to throw. Here comes pressure again. Gets some time, fires a ball. Caught inside the 20-yard line. Down to the 15, down to the 13. Gators move the chains.
Yeah, if this stands here, which it looks like it is, there's no flags on the field. You know, Cifuentes coming up big again. Cifuentes coming up big, and again showing exactly why he is one of their big targets, along with Jesse Garza, when it comes to getting the ball in the air for the Gators.
Santiago Cifuentes, and yards after the catch, brought down at the 11-yard line. And first down for Trujillo and company as we go inside, a minute left in the half. Rolls out, left-hand side, swings a pass. That's going to be out of bounds. That's a catch made inside the 5.
Again, Cifuentes coming up big again, as he's a little bit slow to come up. But again, nonetheless, he makes that catch.
Mark him down at the 6. Now they stop the clock. Grulla Gators only have 1 timeout remaining.
We have a timeout for injury.
That's an injury timeout on the sideline. Stops the clock with 46 seconds. I'll go ahead and keep it right here. Again, at halftime, they will have both bands performing. We'll try to keep the camera rolling and go wide. Turn the microphone up for the fans. I know there are a lot of fans that like to tune in during these halftime breaks. Some penalties against the LaFeria Lions, and realistically, if you're just tuning in, fans, one was a pass interference, which was a pretty easy call for the official to make. Another on a personal foul on after a receiver had dropped the ball. The defender carried threw a man down. That's a rather easy call to make. I'm not sure what the sideline call was, but of the three, that was the one that would probably need more discussion than any. The other two were pretty clear, and they definitively helped this Grulla Gator drive stay alive.
Yes, they sure did. And there are some of them, might consider it unnecessary when it comes to that coach penalty, but we'll see how it affects them with just biting them now.
Second down for the Gators. They can get a first down without getting the end zone. They'll keep it. Trujillo running right side, turns it up inside the 5, bounced out of bounds. They'll keep the clock running.
And what a move there. He was able to, get right by Luna to pick up that first down. Wait,
no, did not get a first down.
Did not get the first down. No, but he was able to get it away from that first tackler, and we'll see where they mark it here.
Clock running with 22 seconds to go. They mark it down at the 4. They got to get it inside the 2 to get a first down. Clock running at 16 seconds left in the half. Gators do have one timeout remaining. Trujillo on a second down play, rolls out, looks to throw, throws the ball. That's nearly picked off. Lions had an opportunity that time, and Isaiah Vinto had clear sailing if he would be able to hang on to that one.
And again, Trujillo threw it where he wanted the ball to go, nice and low, where they've been able to go, him and his receivers.
There's your timeout. We'll see if the Gators elect to kick the field goal or go for another magical fourth down conversion after this.
Welcome to Hacienda Ford's Trucktoberfest.
Trucktoberfest is the biggest sale of the year on new trucks and SUVs at Hacienda Ford. Now, no matter what options you want, it's at Hacienda Ford. Right now, get a 2019 Ford Explorer with up to $10,000 off MSRP at Hacienda Ford.
Trucktoberfest means Hacienda has it.
Back here after a timeout was called by the Grulla Gators. The decision is to bring the field goal unit in. And you got some things going for you. If you're Grulla, you're going to get the ball to start the second half. You're trailing right now by 1. Field goal here from the 10-yard line means it's a 20-yard attempt, in essence, an extra point. They've missed a kick here. Good snap this time, ball down, kick up, long, high, and it is good. Gators lead at the break. On the field goal, 16-14 on a Thursday night here in Rio Grande City. Evie Vasquez, Grulla Gators taking advantage of situations and like I talked about in my keys to the game, take it to a team on a Thursday night. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's we can't just say it's this or say that. Like you talked about earlier, these things have to get done, and they've done those things like what? Being able to take care of home field advantage like you talked about early on. Okay, you're able to match, what LaFeria is trying to throw at you. So again, it's a number of things, and then of course on top of it, of everything else, you have these 2 weather delays. So again, and we talked about that, if Grulla was going to do something, they had to prove themselves in the first half, and they did. They were able to prove themselves. They were able to stay toe-to-toe with LaFeria. So, again, going into the second half, you got a game in your hands, and again, are the Lions going to show up? Are the Gators going to be able to defend their home field and be able to stay on top of this game like they are right now? So it's going to be an interesting second half.
16-14, Grulla Gators on top. We have had the marching band out there getting ready for the performance. I think the Lions will be allowed to take the field. Again, we're dealing with a little bit of moisture Fans, again, I'm seeing some comments. I just had a couple of messages. Rudy's doing the best he can with the camera. It is having some fuzzy situations. Right now I can see it's clearly blurry, and we'll try to fix that on the fly here at halftime. But again, we're having to go through the window, and you're seeing a little bit of blurriness thanks to the rain. But I'll try to fix it myself as we're at the halftime break. This is Real Sports Live.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
We'll be performing a prom routine to the hit song Uptown Funk.
For your annual physicals, call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Before you have time to worry, we'll get you taken care of fast and easy. Now you can get back to your day with a healthy smile.
Truck Techs in Harlingen is your source for lifts, wheels, and tires. Talking trucks of any size, any model, and any year. Specializing in accessories with top-of-the-line products to bring that special look to your truck in a professional way. Lifts, wheels, and tires, with financing available too. Call today or stop by Truck Techs in Harlingen.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Service have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy with peace of mind and security.
Help fulfill your retirement needs. Come experience the difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together. Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Everyone's a winner at Cono Auto Sales. LaFeria Marching Band taking the field. We'll go ahead and try to put the camera on that and allow you to catch a performance of the Lions Marching Band here at halftime. Grulla Gators on top 16-14.
And now, LaFeria High School is proud to present the LaFeria High School Mighty Lion Band. Drum majors for the Lion Band are Alondra Galvan, Mia Lopez, and Christian Olivares. Directors for the Mighty Lion Band are Eddie Benitez, Rolando Zamora, David Cardona, Art Hinojosa, Raul Carate, Jaime Flores, and Ada Brandt. Color guard instructor is Maria Padron. Tonight, the Mighty Lion Band begins their performance with Louie Louie, a song made famous by the Kingsmen back in 1963, featuring trumpet soloists O.J. Jimenez and Raul Desica. Next, the Mighty Lion Band continues their performance with a popular song from the George Lopez Show, Low Rider. And now, the band concludes its performance with Little Joe's big hit, Las Nubes, featuring our accordionist, George Cuellar. Take it away, George. Mighty Lion Band. We hope you have enjoyed our show this evening. Special thanks goes out to our wonderful band boosters who do so much for us behind the scenes. Thank you, band boosters. You rock.
That's the marching band of the LaFeria Lions outperforming across the way to the visiting side. Grulla marching band will take the field. Take a quick break. It's halftime. Grulla Gators on top from Rio Grande City, 16-14. We continue after this.
Expressway 83. How about this 2015 Chevy Silverado 1500, a regular cab, custom wheels, bedliner, 21,000 miles, power everything, $25,900. Or how about this 2015 BMW 328i, fully loaded with an X-Drive, navigation, sunroof, leather interior, $18,999. Financing is available with lending for all types. Every deal's a winner at Cano Auto Sales 2, in business since 2002, Harlingen, Texas.
The kids are headed back to school. It's time to get internet from VTX1. VTX1 Companies offers fast and reliable internet throughout the Rio Grande Valley, even to some of the most remote areas. For a limited time only, get your standard installation at no cost to you. Start the school year off with a service provider you can trust by calling 1-800-446-2031. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Grulla Marching Band out on the field. It is the halftime festivities here from Rio Grande City. We'll go ahead and turn up the public address announcer's microphone. We'll key ours down from Rio Grande City.
Our very own Grulla Gator Band seniors and their parents. These students and parents are two-time All-State participants, Honor Band State finalists, and Outstanding Performance Series State finalists. They have demonstrated their excellence through their dedication and their determination. These students are as follows. Jesus Andrade III, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jessica and Jay Andrade. Elismia Barajas, accompanied by Miss Olivares. Noe Castillo Jr. and Gabriela Castillo, son and daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Noe Castillo. Christian Corona, son of Mr. and Mrs. Hector and Lidiana Corona. Luis Sheriff Elizondo, son of Mr. Ruben Martinez and Miss Marta Saucedo. Mauricio Garcia, son of Mr. and Mrs. Maria and Fernando Garcia. Michaela Garcia, daughter of Mrs. Filomena Garcia. Ashley Lee, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Janet and Marcos Flores. Noah Ramirez, son of Mr. and Mrs. Rene and Patricia Ramirez. Sebastian Ramirez, son of Mr. and Mrs. Rene and Alejandra Olin. Correction, Ramirez. April Ramos, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ramos. Teresa Rivera, daughter of Miss Dora Rivera. Jacqueline Salazar, daughter of Mrs. Sara Salazar, accompanied by her mother Sara and sister Jocelyn Salazar. Daisy Zarate, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. David and Francisca Zarate. And now for the moment that we've all been waiting for, our 2019-2020 Band Bow and Band Sweetheart. Drum roll, please. This year's 2019-2020 Band Bow is Mauricio Garcia. And this year's Band Sweetheart 2019-2020 Band Sweetheart is, drum roll please, Ashley Lee. On behalf of the Gator Band staff and Gator program, we would like to congratulate all of you and your parents again for a very heartwarming thank you from all of us, our Gator Band family, for your work and dedication in being one of the best in the state of Texas. Congratulations, good night, and go Gators!
That's the marching band performing for senior night for the Grulla Gators. So abbreviated performance by either band. Evie Vasquez downing some nachos, and Rudy Zamaripa at the camera back at the helm. Again, we are dealing with some moisture coming in through the window. You're going to see a little bit of fuzziness. It was that or put the camera outside, and then we'd have had to shut it down. So it's pick your poison. We're at halftime. Your score is 16-14 with the Grulla Gators on top on their home turf. I want to go back to my keys to the game, sponsored by Hacienda Ford out of Edinburgh, Texas. This is what I talked about during the pregame show on things you need to check off on keys to the game. For the LaFeria Lions, we talked about providing a pass rush. That hasn't happened in the first half as they have been hit by some passing by Jose Trujillo. Most importantly, he's had time to get the ball away. LaFeria Lions, I talked about going vertical. While their offense had the ball a couple of times in that first half, they were able to go over the top. They were able to put up 208 yards of offense, only 65 through the air. So they by no means stretched the field yet against this Grulla Gators team. And then I talked about staying focused for the LaFeria Lions. This had, in the words of many coaches, this had trap game written all over it. It's a Thursday game. It's on the longest road trip of the season for the Lions in the regular season. And they have a big matchup at home next week against the Hidalgo Pirates. You're unbeaten, so staying focused for the Lions is imperative. It's not that this game is out of stretch. I want to go over the Grulla Gators keys to the game I went over during the pregame show. Pressure up front. Well, they've done a nice job of providing some pressure up front, and they've contained the runners and the running game for the LaFeria Lions, other than the fact that Angel Garcia quietly rushed for 114 yards in the first half. But pressure up front and nothing over the top. The Grulla Gators have done a nice job on preventing those deep routes, preventing the big plays, the lightning-quick scoring in the first half. And then most important key of the game I talked about in the pregame was catching the team off guard, and that was trying to take advantage of all the circumstances around this. And then you get some additional circumstances that come into play with the lightning delays, 2 30-minute lightning delays, bang, bang, right out of this start to this game. And then some costly turnovers by the LaFeria Lions. I want to run over some statistics for you. Lions outgained the Gators 208 to 167 in total yards in that first half, 143 on the ground, 65 through the air for the Lions. 114 yards on 11 carries for Angel Garcia for the LaFeria Lions leads the way in the passing game. Dorian Hernandez was letter perfect, 5 for 5 for 65 yards in the first half, again leading to 208 yards for the Lions. Grulla Gators, on the other hand, 167 yards of total offense, and they mixed it up with 101 yards on the ground. Leading carrier was Vidal Lopez on 11 carries, had 49 yards. Eric Moreno just behind him with 8 carries for 36 yards. Quarterback Jose Trujillo had 4 carries for 16 yards in the air, 6 of 11 for 66 yards for Trujillo. His leading receiver, Santiago Cifuentes, had 3 catches in the first half. A couple of catches for Jesse Garza. A couple of minutes before we start the second half, Evie, I talk about it a lot at halftime. Coaches being able to look their players in the eye and say, you can go win this game. Both coaches easily can look at their teams and say, you can go win this game as we get ready for the second half.
Right, and again, that's the message. That's, obviously the message going in. It's your game to lose, okay? Because, again, you have the Lions coming in who are undefeated, and then you have the Gators who are on top in the game, which probably, I would say, majority of the people are going to say they didn't expect this, So, again, the message is this is your game to lose. You're in a good position to go ahead and take this game. So, again, and you talked about some of the keys to the game, if a couple of things that I would say is the extra things that happen. So I think that if the Grulla Gators and the Lions were to have stuck to those keys of the game, things would be probably the way that people probably figured with the Lions on top. But it was those extra things that happened. penalties here, penalties there, a coach getting a penalty. So I think it's some of those things that kind of made the difference. So again, Lions are still in it, and if you ask me, it's gonna go ahead and be their game to lose still. Not just because they're down doesn't mean that the game is over for them. But again, the Grulla Gators have really opened some eyes and surprised a lot of people here tonight. So we'll see how this game ends.
Here come the Grulla Gators out of the tunnel first. At the beginning of the game, it was the Lions coming out first both times when they ran out. This time it's the Gators taking the field. They're anxious to get back on the football field. Meanwhile, the LaFeria Lions racing out on the field as we get set for the second half. Looking at this second half, the Gators will get the football. And even I was looking at it at the opening coin toss when the Gators won that, wondering, what was the meaning behind that, putting that LaFeria Lion offense on the field to start the game. You could put yourself in a hole in a hurry in a game, but in that case, the kickoff was fumbled. That took away all of that, and so now it looks like an outright genius move made by Coach Abel Gonzalez III on the sideline for the Grulla Gators on deferring after winning that opening coin toss. Now he gets the football to start the second half. Now he has a lead to build on, and you look back at it realistically, they had two other possessions they could have scored touchdowns. One, they came up short, had to punt the ball. Second time through, they kicked the field goal to close out the half. They could be comfortably on top. They're up by 2, but things could be a lot better for the Gators or a lot worse for the Lions as we start the second half.
Right, and again, sometimes these errors and or decisions, make a difference. And again, in a close game like this, the second half is going to be just exactly the same. And again, these are two veteran coaches and two teams that are led by seniors. So we'll see what we're in for.
As we get set, the kickoff is underway, and welcome to the second half here. It's a short kickoff fielded by an up man out across the 40-yard line, and that's where the Grulla Gators will set up shop to start this third quarter of play. And they've had field positions of their opponent's 15, their own 48, their own 43, and now their own 45-yard line to start a drive. So certainly field position has been an advantage for the Gators of Grulla as they send the offense onto the field. Again, limited to turnovers by the Grulla Gators. They've forced a couple of turnovers on the other side, and they've taken advantage and done just enough here in this ball game to have a 2-point lead as we start the third quarter of play. First down play for Trujillo. He's going to, on a read, hand it off on the right side, tripped up on a short carry by Eric Moreno. Falls forward, gains 2, 2nd and 8 coming up, and here in the third quarter. We've seen a heavy mix of Lopez and Moreno. We've seen Trujillo mixing it up just a bit on the passing game. And it's just enough to keep you honest on the defensive side if you're the LaFeria Lions. Second down play for Trujillo. Sees a blitz coming from the left side. Hands it off. They'll run away from that. They'll shut it down. Lions there to wrap up Lopez. That's a short gain. Did not get to the 50. And so third down coming up. 4.5, make it 6 yards to go.
Yeah, as the play, started, coming into action, it kind of looked like that left side was going to be a good choice for them. But again, this Lions line doing a good job of holding them to third and long.
Gators will have to get it to the 45 of the LaFeria Lions. Out of a shotgun formation, Trujillo drops back to throw, swings it right side. That's overthrown. Incomplete pass. Over in the direction of Cifuentes, who has a couple of big catches here tonight. And that means punting time for the Grulla Gators. And the LaFeria Lions defense gets the job done on a 3-and-out on the first possession of the second half. Lions bring in the kick return team. Send back Chris Diaz and Jaden Torres. Standing back around their 20-yard line. Wind is still blowing across the field. And on a rugby-style kick, Trujillo gets it away. They'll let that bounce. Field it inside the 10. They're going to say they touched it. We'll see if the officials will say it was not touched. And so the LaFeria Lions will have the ball inside the 10. Meanwhile, a player was shaken up on the Gator side. They almost touched that ball.
Yeah, I honestly thought that they had, but I mean, I guess again, we're up here in the press box, and they're the ones closer to the action.
Ball down at the 13. Lions have the football after this.
Laguna Madre Baits, the home of Laguna Girl 1 and 2. They ensure that you have the best when it comes to your fishing needs. Locally caught bait, including live shrimp and croaker. Frozen baits, caught locally, frozen shrimp, squid, mullet, and more. Dress the part with full outdoor apparel. Drinks, ice, snacks, groceries, and fishing supplies for any need. Access by road or by boat. Look for the blue building and the blue shrimp boats, Laguna Madre Baits. 828 Westport Drive, Fort Mansfield, Texas.
At First Community Bank, we believe in small business.
When Jennifer and Jimmy Wilson started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm, they found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
One of the Grulla Gators shaken up. They're still attending to him. Hopefully he'll be okay and be able to resume play here, as the Grulla Gators had to punt the ball after their first possession. And you talk about keeping teams off balance, out of sync, whatever you want to call it. Even now, the first drive of the second half, the LaFeria Lions have to wait for an extended period after their defense gets the job done and getting a stop. And Evie, just everything about this spells, you know, you're walking on a leg and a half instead of 2 legs solid going forward.
Right, and I've been in the middle of that before as a coach. You know, you're really trying to get a rhythm going. You're really trying to just get some momentum, and one thing or another, just game, you know, situations or game, you know,
strange
scenarios.
things happen.
Yeah, things happen. You know, things happen.
Looks like Rudy's done a nice job of getting that camera on target during the halftime break. Give him some kudos there. Rudy Zamaripa Jr. Doing a great job. He's going to help me through the basketball tournaments, and meaning we'll be busy. We'll be extremely busy. The LaFeria Lions have the ball, and away we go to resume play here in this third quarter. That's a fumble on a handoff. Picked up by the Lions, and somehow they move forward. Derek Perez fumbled it, picked it back up, lost 2 yards, but that was a dangerous play that time by the Lions, putting that ball on the floor. Second down for Dorian Hernandez and the Lions of LaFeria. Quick handoff. They'll run it right side, right up the middle this time, out across the 22-yard line. Quick gain by Angel Garcia, gains 12. Garcia now with 126 yards on the ground. That's enough for a first down.
Yeah, Josue Barrera with the tackle there to stop him. But again, he was able to pick up what was needed for that first down.
So a quick hitting run that time by Hernandez. 12 carries. I got him for 128. It's averaging 10 yards per touch. Hernandez wants to throw. Ton of time over the middle. That's tipped and intercepted by the Gators. A pick at the 40-yard line. Gators take over.
Yeah, and again, he found his target. It just could not come up with it. Receiver could just not come up with it, and leads into an interception.
Jorge Guerrero on the tip drill in the secondary gets the interception, and the Grulla Gators will try to take advantage of a third turnover of the night against the LaFeria Lions. Up by 2, start a drive at the Lion 41. And that was on a ball that was delivered right on the money to the receiver, into and out of his hands, up into the air. And on a tip interception, Gators take over. First down play, running inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line. 3-yard carry for Vidal Lopez.
and again, that's one of the, as we talked about earlier, that's one of the good and positive things about the Gators. They don't just have one person that can go ahead and pound the ball in the ground. They have several, and they've been able to utilize them, well here tonight, to their advantage.
Second down play for the Grulla Gators. Jose Trujillo gifted another short field to work with on a drive. Hands it on, keeps it on a read. Bounces it outside, a lot of containment there. Got across the 40-yard line, back to the 39 and a half. Might have got to the 38. He does. They give him credit on a forward progress for a yard gain. But 3rd and 7 coming up for the Gators, in this LaFeria Lion defense once again asked to make a stand. They got a stop on the first drive of the second half by the Gators. And now on a 3rd and 7, Trujillo drops back to throw. Has a ton of time. Here comes pressure up the middle. Gets away from that man. Delivers a ball deep downfield, up for grabs in the end zone. Tipped incomplete.
Yeah, almost. He had two receivers who would possibly get to the football. But again, just too much coverage from the Lions. And again, and they almost even come up with an interception as well in the end zone. But again, that was a risky throw there by Trujillo as he was looking to go to the end zone.
Now the Gators will line up in punt formation. Trujillo again is the punter, so you have to be aware, if nothing else, that the quarterback is also the punter. And he also uses that rugby-style punt, which means he rolls out, scanning the return team before he delivers the punt. He will get the ball away on an end-over-end wobbly kick down inside the 10, inside the 5, and batted down there. And the field position game by the Grulla Gators pins the LaFeria Lions deep in their own territory to start this drive.
And that'll be a lot of field to cover for the Lions, but again, it's still anybody's game.
Lions have outgained the Gators 220 to 176. They also have 3 glaring turnovers in this football game that have assisted the Grulla Gators and currently leading by 2. Hernandez out of a shotgun stands inside his 5. Hands the ball off, bouncing it outside on the run, outside the 20, 25, 30, takes on a man to the 35, another big gain and a first down for the LaFeria Lions.
Braulio Garza coming up and finally able to catch up to the runner. If Braulio wasn't there, he might have had the whole field in front of him and probably gets into the end zone.
28 more yards for Garcia. They'll give it to him again. This time takes on a tackler, got to the 40-yard line, gains 4. Now the whistle blows as another player appears to be shaken up on the field. This time as one of the Lions' interior linemen goes down. We'll take a quick break from Rio Grande City. This is Real Sports Live.
Auto Sales 2 in Harlingen. Choose from a wide selection and score big today on West Expressway 83. How about this 2015 Chevy Silverado 1500, a regular cab, custom wheels, bedliner, 21,000 miles, power everything, $25,900. Or how about this 2015 BMW 328i, fully loaded with an X-Drive, navigation, sunroof, leather interior, $18,999. Financing is available with lending for all types. Every deal's a winner at Cano Auto Sales 2, in business since 2002, Harlingen, Texas.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Before you have time to worry, we'll get you taken care of fast and easy. Now you can get back to your day with a healthy smile.
Back here and walking off the field for the LaFeria Lions, Alex Arena. And hopefully he'll be okay. He's one of their key players on that offensive line for the LaFeria Lions. And that's what, that's another thing that comes into play in these games that start having those odd feelings. Lions have the football. Hernandez hands it off on a jet sweep. This is Chris Diaz. Diaz brings it out across the 40, drags a man to the 45-yard line and close to first down yardage before being brought down.
Yeah, Diaz needed 3 Gators to help with that tackle.
They will mark him down for a first down. And the LaFeria Lions have it 1st and 10 outside their 45. Hernandez hands it off. Running play, running over a man to the midfield stripe. Angel Garcia took on the tackler, gains 5 yards, was hit at the line of scrimmage. That didn't seem to matter.
Yeah, Angel Garcia just taking everyone with him. But again, the positive thing here is it's 2nd down, and, he's got about 6 yards to go to the Lions.
Pass play, Hernandez, right side. It's caught yards after the catch down the right sideline, inside the 30-yard line, down to the 25. A quick strike and yards after the catch by Caleb Flores.
Yeah, and again, Flores using, that quick first step, and once he gets, that's the hardest thing about catching him. The thing is that when you do catch him, he's very hard to bring down. So, again, he uses his size and his strength, and one-on-one is not going to do it.
5 catches, 29 yards. A handoff for Garcia. Makes a man miss. Takes on another tackler. Gains 12. Was hit at the line of scrimmage again, and Garcia refuses to go down. 16 carries, 177 yards now for Angel Garcia. And the LaFeria Lions, who started this drive inside their 10-yard line, are now in the red zone, as that was a penalty against the Grulla Gators decline. And so the ball's down at the 13 of the Gators. Lions trying to take the lead here in this 3rd quarter. Hernandez. Before the snap, here come the penalty flags.
On the offense, number 55, the 5-yard penalty remains first down.
So 5 more yards against the LaFeria Lions. Penalties have been a part of tonight's game. There was some critical personal foul and 15-yard variety that led to a Grulla field goal, closing out the first half, sustaining a drive. 5-yard penalty here for Hernandez. Has 2 receivers left, single receiver right side. This is Flores bouncing it outside. Got hit. This time they'll hang on. Drop him at the 15, gain 3. 2nd and long coming up.
Yeah, this will be a very interesting play call here because, again, you need some yards, and it's already 2nd down. It'll be interesting what the Lions choose to do here.
Garcia now 17 carries, 181 yards. 2nd down. They'll mark him down for a 2nd and 13 coming up. Hernandez sends a man in motion. That's Diaz. Fakes the handoff, gives it instead to Garcia up the middle. Garcia inside the 10, back down to the 9-yard line, bringing up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, and that's still going to be, bringing them back close to the starting line of scrimmage. Still need some yards to get that first down. But good run nonetheless there by Garcia, again, towering people over.
Lions on 3rd down, bringing a new ball carrier into the game in the backfield. That's Jaime Carriola. This is Hernandez running right-hand side. Dorian Hernandez in the end zone. Touchdown, Lions.
Yeah, and he had some options there, and at the last minute he chose to take it himself, which was the right play. And touchdown Lions as they regain the lead here. And going forward, it'll be interesting. Can the Gators continue to stay in this game?
First carry of the night for Hernandez. It hits pay dirt, and I can assure you, with an arm in a cast, his left arm is in a cast, there was some hold your breath moments there for fans of the LaFeria Lions, coaching staff, players, and probably, admittedly, Dorian Hernandez, as he knew he was going to be touched, if nothing else, hit at worst, take some contact with that left hand bandaged. Timeout on the field before the extra point. LaFeria Lions up in this game, 20-16. We'll take a quick break for the extra point coming up.
Remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
Back here on Rio Sports after a timeout, the LaFeria Lions bring the kick team in, excuse me, to extra point. Leading in this game by 5, trying to go up by 6. Ball down, kick up, long high, and it is good. Lions up by 5. Gators get the football after this.
Started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm. They found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
Kickoff by the LaFeria Lions. Gators looking to return it. Take it out to the 29-yard line, and that is shut down in a hurry on a big hit delivered by Jason Yates.
Jason Yates, the first one to the ball, and make sure that, the returner has nowhere to go.
And so now the Grulla Gators, just under 5 minutes left here in the third quarter. I was going to tell Rudy on our way over here that usually when I come across to Starr County on my Channel 4 days, it always meant I was going to be at the game that finished absolutely latest, the last game. And I did not expect 2 30-minute lightning delays. But nonetheless, here we are, 10 o'clock, third quarter continues for the Gators. They'll run it. Nice room out across the 35, 40-yard line, onto the 45. First down, big carry, Vidal Lopez.
Yeah, that's a big, big carry there, as he's able to move the chains. But the thing is that, again, these Gators, the more that the Lions, get one step on them, the Gators are still there. So, again, give credit to the Gators for being able to fight every single time that they get the ball. But will it be enough?
They've had answers all night long here on their home field. Grulla Gators trailing, though, by 6. Third quarter continues. Trujillo on a first down play. Swings a pass, left-hand side. That's going to be caught. Garza drops the ball, wheeling to the outside. It's a case of trying to run upfield before securing the football. Incomplete pass stops the clock. Trujillo's now missed on his last 4 in the passing game. Grulla Gators facing second down and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Single back in the backfield on this play. And out of play action, they'll look to throw. Over the middle this time. Caught in stride, then a big hit, and hanging on for the catch. First down, Gators.
Interesting, development of a play here.
That's Cifuentes.
Yeah, Cifuentes brings it in. He coughs it up after the hit. A very, very hard hit. And luckily, he's still able to get it before he's actually brought down and completely gets down. But again, big play here as that crosses midfield for the Gators, and they're inside the 40.
22-yard gain on that play. That was just an outright tremendous concentration on hanging on to that ball after the catch. Now a bad snap picked up by Trujillo. Trujillo runs it right side. He's going to get hit, and down he goes. A loss on the play of 4. Second and long for the Grulla Gators coming up.
second down for the Gators. Ball at the 43-yard line.
Ball at the 43. Got to get it inside the 30-yard line of your opponents if you want a first down into the Grulla Gators. Overload the left-hand side with receivers. Trujillo looking left all the way, rolls left. Looking, here comes pressure, gets rid of the ball, throws it up for grabs, a triple team, picked off by the Lions. Bringing it back across the right side is Evan Avila. Avila across the 20, 25-yard line, steps out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's the thing when you throw into triple coverage like that, you know, you're bound to possibly give up that interception, and that's exactly what happened. You throw into a receiver with triple coverage.
So the LaFeria Lions defense makes a play on that one. And with 2:49 left here, one of the Lion players in the secondary was shaken up a bit. Looks like maybe cramping on the backside of this play. We'll take a quick timeout. Lions have the football and the lead. Third quarter continues after this.
And ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Hi fans, today's game is brought to you by New York Life. Best of luck to your team.
And I'm Danielle Goslin, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For over 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation of developing the most successful professionals in the industry.
We help to manage the process from day one and guide you on your way to success. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business,
then we would like to show you how we can help.
After the injury timeout, Lions run the football on first down, and another strong carry for Angel Garcia. Add 12 more to his total, 199 yards on the ground on the night for Garcia. High snap, Hernandez gets to it, hands it off. Here's Garcia again, bouncing it right side, has another 10 yards and some. Across the 50, takes on a tackler, hangs on, gets down to the 45.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If you don't stop him early, that's exactly what Garcia is bound to do. You got to be able to stop him at the line of scrimmage. If not, he's possibly getting those big yards. He's a tough runner to bring down.
20 carries, 217 yards on the ground. Lions now trying to build on a lead, which is the first time I've said that on the night, as Dorian Hernandez sets him down on first down. Shifts the ball carrier on the backfield to the left-hand side, then the whistle blows. A false start will be called. That time they brought in Devin Spears in the backfield. They're trying to give Garcia just a momentary break. Now a running play goes nowhere on the right side as the Gators are there to shut that down.
Right, they'll lose some yards here, as you stop behind the line of scrimmage. And here's the thing, they were able to bring enough defense to actually stop them right at the line.
Second down and every bit of 14, call it 15 yards to go for Hernandez. Drops back to throw, has some time, looking, and now runs to the right side, delivers a pass. That's going to be caught by Flores near first down territory. We'll take a look at the spot. Coming back for that catch, Caleb Flores.
Right, he was able to go ahead and run left, and the thing is that there was 3 receivers on the left side. Everyone was covered, and finally when he decided to turn around, he was able to find Flores wide open on this other side. And again, forward progress is just a bit short. 6
catches, 93 yards in the air for Caleb Flores. Brings up 3rd and 1. Dorian Hernandez hands the ball off. Back in the game, Garcia. Angel Garcia just plows forward, gains 4 more yards, and moves the chains further downfield for the LaFeria Lions. as we're under a minute to go here in this third quarter. From the 34, Hernandez on first down. Drops back to throw on a deep drop. Sets up, delivers a ball in the end zone, up for grabs, tipped away, incomplete.
Yeah, there was 3 people he could have gone to there. He chose to go to the receiver who was running just that post route. But again, he had 3 options. Everybody was covered. Risky play.
2nd and 10 coming up. Clock actually reads 21 seconds. For the Lions. Hernandez swings a pass right side to Flores on a receiver screen. Takes on a tackler. Gets it down to the 25-yard line. That's enough for a first down. And Caleb Flores continues to have the hot hand on the receiving side tonight for the LaFeria Lions. Goes over the century mark with that catch in yards receiving. Final play of the third quarter. Running play right-hand side. Kian Torres back in the game. Rumbles forward for 5. Takes us to the fourth quarter. Lions with the lead and the ball after this.
Laguna Madre Baits, the home of Laguna Girl 1 and 2. They ensure that you have the best when it comes to your fishing needs. Locally caught bait, including live shrimp and croaker. Frozen baits caught locally, frozen shrimp, squid, mullet, and more. Dress the part with full outdoor apparel. Drinks, ice, snacks, groceries, and fishing supplies for any need. Access by road or by boat. Look for the blue building and the blue shrimp boats, Laguna Madre Baits. 828 Westport Drive, Fort Mansfield, Texas.
At First Community Bank, we believe in small business.
Back here as we get set for the fourth quarter of play. Ball set squarely on the 20-yard line of the Grulla Gators. On their home field tonight, they have went toe-to-toe with an undefeated team here in week 9 of the high school football season, the LaFeria Lions. Lions have the lead and the football. Facing a 2nd and 6 as the first play of the fourth quarter is underway. Back to Garcia, running up the middle, left-hand side, takes it inside the 15. 6 more yards and another first down as Garcia is having quite the night.
Yeah, and the thing is that he's had a better second half than the first one, and I think that's been the difference maker here. The thing is that at this time he's just being able to pick up almost a first down on every touch.
Hernandez wants to throw, swings a pass left-hand side, another receiver screen. This time it's caught inside the 10-yard line. As they went over to Derek Perez, his first catch of the evening. Ends up gaining 4. 2nd down for the LaFeria Lions. Hernandez and a hurry up. No huddle offense. Hands it off. No, keeps it himself. Right-hand side. Untouched in zone. Dorian Hernandez.
What a fake. What a fake. Everybody went to Garcia as he faked that handoff. He's able to basically be untouched as he walks into the end zone.
He could have walked in. He could have literally walked into the end zone on that 14-yard carry.
What a fake.
And Dorian Hernandez has 2 carries tonight, 22 yards, 2 touchdowns, 9 of 11 in the air. A touchdown strike there. And an extra point coming up for the LaFeria Lions is good. Lions up by a dozen, kicking off after this.
Flower Farm. They found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
At First Community Bank, we believe in small business.
When Jennifer and Jimmy Wilson started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm, they found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
Before you have time to worry.
Don't say anything.
Back here on Rio Sports Live as we are ready for the kickoff. LaFeria Lions on top by the score of 28-16. Now a short kick to the right side of the field, fielded by the Gators, out across the 35-yard line to the 39-yard line. on a carry by Jorge Guerrero. And now it's go to work time if you're the Grulla Gators. You've went toe-to-toe with this team. Now trailing by 12. Jose Trujillo and company have to come back on the field. And quietly, the Lions have now outgained the Gators 407 to 209 in this football game. Trujillo sets him down on first down. Again, a good starting position on the field for the Gators to start a drive. Running play left-hand side. Staying on his feet is Lopez. Stretches got a yard gain. Lions now committing, coming in to shut down Lopez and Moreno. Almost forcing the hand of Trujillo to try to go downfield through the air. Lopez and Moreno combined have 109 yards rushing. Lopez leading the way with 71. Trujillo swings a pass right side. That is a batted away, incomplete. Getting over there, Evan Avila.
Yeah, that's big, and he was able to time it perfectly. And the thing is, you know, the quarterback was able to sell it with his eyes, so he knew exactly where he was going.
Trujillo, 7 of 17 for 88 yards, and brings up third down and 9 for the Grulla Gators. Trujillo keeps both Moreno and Lopez in the backfield for protection. Two receivers right side. Drops back, pressure coming from the outside. They get rid of that. There's a penalty flag thrown. Trujillo's going to run upfield. Got to the 50, would have been enough for a first down, but this is coming back. It's going to be a hold. Yep.
Yeah, that was a block on the back. So
Reason for the hold was Guillermo Vargas was coming untouched on that right side for the LaFeria Lions. And it was let him go or wrestle him to the ground. Rusbel Alanis said, I'm going to protect my quarterback. Got called for the block. Brings the ball back to the 31-yard line for the Gators. Third down and a bunch. Trujillo sees pressure coming from the outside. They bring it, they pick it up. Trujillo steps back further. Gets away from one, won't get away from the other, down he goes.
That's a big sack there by Luna. You know, as again, a better option would have probably been for him to throw it away, but again, ton of yards there, and that brings him into a bigger hole for the Gators.
Eric Luna fought off a block, and then as Trujillo was backpedaling, turned on the jets and caught him and pins him back inside the 15-yard line. Punting time for the Gators. LaFeria should get great field position out of this as Chris Diaz already stands in Gator territory waiting to return the punt. Trujillo will take the snap inside his 5. Rolls right side, gets rid of it in time. Nice punt. It's going to be fielded by the Lions, and quickly Diaz is brought to the ground.
Yeah, receiver Jesse Garza there with that takedown at midfield, exactly midfield.
Brings up the Lions. They'll start a drive at the midfield stripe. Dorian Hernandez will be naming our player of the game. Right now it's flip your coin. Heads, you get Angel Garcia, 22 carries, 227 yards. Tails, you get Dorian Hernandez, and that's an even 50-50 split. We may have to take a vote up here in the booth. First down play. Hernandez drops back in the flats, finds Chris Diaz, turns it upfield down the sideline. Left side, ends up gaining 9. Takes out the chain gang over there. And let's see where they mark him down, or is there a penalty on this play? There is. There's a penalty flag thrown back at the midfield stripe. It's going to be against the Lions. They already marched it back. And that's a big one, a 10-yard holding call.
On the offense, number 12. 10-yard penalty is one foul. Still first down.
Reminding you fans, a little bit later on, we'll have highlights of these games up Also be able to watch replays of the games until the coaches ask us to pull them, and that it does happen. Tomorrow night we'll have broadcasts from 6 different stadiums. First down play for the Lions. Hernandez drops the snap, picks it up, spins away from one man, goes down. Wise choice there for Dorian Hernandez.
Right. Either way he looked, he was about to be brought down, so good decision there just to go down on himself and give himself up.
Clock running, 4th quarter. Hernandez now facing a second down. From his own 36, got to get to your opponent's 40 to get a first down. Swings a pass right side. Flores catches, takes it to the middle of the field. Tries to get through that defense, wrapped up at the 41. 5-yard gain. They needed 20-plus more, and that would have got him close to first down. Nonetheless, for Caleb Flores, that's quiet. 8 catches, 111 yards. He's like, hey, get that coin back out. Let's talk about a third option for a player of the game. Third down. 19 yards to go, and the whistle blows. Grulla takes a timeout. Gators know they can get a stop here. They'll still be down 2 scores, but they want to keep some time on the clock and keep it realistic that they have a chance on their home field on a Thursday night, leading LaFeria. Lions on top 28-16.
Now you can get back to your day with a healthy smile.
TVNS specializes in provider services, respite care, and emergency response services. TVNS are pioneers in the home care industry, in service for over 37 years. 11 locations from Brownsville to Corpus Christi, from Harlingen to Laredo.
Today's game is sponsored by TVNS, the pioneers in serving our community with the highest quality in provider services.
Willkommen to Welcome to Hacienda Ford's Trucktoberfest.
Trucktoberfest is the biggest sale of the year on Ford pickup trucks at Hacienda Ford. Now, no matter what options you want, it's at Hacienda Ford. Right now, get a 2019 Ford F-150 for 0% interest for 72 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash.
Trucktoberfest means Hacienda has it.
LaFeria Lions on that quick play after the timeout threw a long pass downfield, out of reach of everyone, incomplete pass. And so a punting situation for the LaFeria Lions. Korea Gators had used a timeout. They were hoping to get the ball back, and job accomplished there as the defense gets a stop. A high, booming punt. They'll try to get away from that. It takes a bounce sideways towards the sideline of the Gators at the 30-yard line. And now the Grulla Gators will bring the offense back out on the field. It's not panic time, 7:25 to go. You don't have to go deep ball, but you do have to put points on the board on this possession of the Grulla Gators.
Right. The thing is that, again, you have to understand that your possessions are eventually coming to an end here. You really don't have too many more possessions to work with. So again, they have to make something happen here. If you're the Gators, again, at least a field goal or something to continue to put some points up on the board.
You're down a dozen. You need 2 touchdowns in this game. That field goal is not going to help you if you're a Grulla Gator. And so we'll take a look at their scheme here from their own 29-yard line. They'll start the drive. Jose Trujillo hands it off, bouncing it outside. This is Vidal Lopez. Drags a man out across the 39. That's enough for a first down. A 10-yard carry for Lopez. For Lopez, that's 16 carries for 81 yards on the night. I saw we have some viewers on our YouTube watching from Los Angeles, California. Appreciate you watching wherever you may be, watching these games here on Rio Sports. First down play for Trujillo. Wants to throw, swings it right side, a receiver screen. Josue Barrera takes it across the field, has some room. 50, 45, 40. Look at the speed down the sideline. Barrera stays in bounds, finally bumped out. Big play for the Grulla Gators. Wait a minute. Is it coming back? Yep. There's a penalty all the way across at the 45-yard line of the Grulla Gators. And that'll bring it back. That would have been a huge play for the Grulla Gators. Instead of 1st and 10 inside the 35 of your opponent, Gators facing 1st down and 15 from their own 35. Start the clock up as we're nearing the 6-minute mark here of this 4th quarter. Trujillo, low snap, gets to it, slings a pass, overthrows his man, incomplete in the direction of Chris Luetta. But there was pressure coming by the LaFeria Lions, this time in the presence of Rudy De Leon. Second down. I want to thank you fans that are watching wherever you are watching the games from. Again, those watching on YouTube, be sure you're subscribed to our channel. It helps us grow. Facebook, share the link. Always share the link. There's a nice pass on the right side. Nice catch and near 1st down yardage. Another catch for Santiago Cifuentes. 3rd and short coming up. Cifuentes, 5 catches, 78 yards tonight. He's come up big when they've needed something. Normally you're looking at Jesse Garza, one of those big receivers. Cifuentes having a nice night. Trujillo on 3rd down. Hands the ball up the middle. This is Lopez. Has some room. 40-yard line. Down the right side. Inside the 30. Down to the 20. To the 15-yard line. 1st down coming up for the Gators.
Big open right side here. And the thing is that once he was able to break open, he's going to be very hard to catch.
Lopez on a big-time carry. Goes over the century mark in the rushing game. And he's like, get your coin out again, Joe, just in case you're picking a player of the game. This one's not over just yet. 5-10 and counting. Gators could get right back in this game if they can punch this in. Trujillo hands it off up the middle. Moreno spins, gets down inside the 10 to the 7. They had been feeding Lopez early and often here in the second half. That time Moreno carries. He's now got 10 carries for 44 yards. That's 157 rushing yards for the Grulla Gators here tonight. Again, they've mixed it up well. 157 on the ground, 100 through the air. Trujillo spins right side, gets away from a man, gets drugged down. Got back to the line of scrimmage. Guillermo Vargas again back in the backfield. I think Trujillo will see him in his sleep tonight. 3rd down for the Grulla Gators. Again, a field goal won't help. Need to get in the end zone. You're down 2 touchdowns. Trujillo rolls out, looking to throw, swings it, the middle, nice move made, touchdown Gators. How about Jesse Garza? Nice move made after the catch, and Garza takes it to the house. Six points for the Grulla Gators, and an extra point coming up. Good snap, ball down, kick up, long, high, and good. Grulla Gators now need a stop. LaFeria Lions now protecting a lead. Kickoff coming up.
No ransom note, a chance to escape. Can you use the clues that others have left behind? Are you clever enough to figure it out? Can you escape? Let the game begin.
Community Bank, we believe in small business.
When Jennifer and Jimmy Wilson started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm, they found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
Grulla Gators on their home turf. Cut it to a 5-point game with 3:47 left here in this football game. They'll kick it off, not necessarily a have-to situation on going for an onside kick, as the Gators do have 2 timeouts remaining. But the assignment is fairly simple. Gators need to get their hands on the football one more time here to have a chance in this game. LaFeria Lions, if they get it, can seal this one, not with points, but a couple of first downs, and they could shut this thing down and get out of here with a win and breathe a sigh of relief on the road. Kickoff coming up by the Gators. They'll boom it away. Back to return it is Diaz. Brings it out across the 20-yard line for the Lions with a wall of blockers down the sideline. Gets thrown forward to the 35. And now Dorian Hernandez and the LaFeria Lion offense will step onto the football field, leading on the road by 5. Again, 2 first downs. You should pretty much be able to seal this one away if you're the Lions. Lions on the ground, 279 yards. Angel Garcia averaging 10 yards per carry. Stays to the right side of Hernandez on this first down play. He'll take it. Run right-hand side. Runs through a tackle. Runs through 2 more. Gets it down out across the 38 near the 39-yard line. That's 4 yards. Clock running for Garcia. 4-yard carries are, that's on the low side on what he's been carrying tonight. 23 carries, 231 yards. That's easy math. That's over 10 yards a carry. Second down. Garcia gets it again. Bounces it outside. He's got a first down and some more. Down to the 45, down to the 41-yard line of the Gators. Garcia unstoppable right now. $27 more yards for Garcia. Clock is stop while they move the chains. Lions on a first down. Hernandez hands it, keeps it himself, steps to the right side, gets hit, spins, backs forward. Gained 1, and now the Gators will start burning those timeouts. After that short game by Dorian Hernandez. We were delayed by a couple of lightning strikes early in this evening's contest. Coming into play now as we're bearing on 10:28. On the clock, meanwhile on the game clock, LaFeria Lions leading by 5. Have it second down at their opponent's 38. One more first down, and the LaFeria Lions can dance out of here, barring a turnover, with a win, and they'll know that they got in and out and got the win, and that's about all they'll want to talk about.
Right, because the thing is that, a couple situations we're looking their way, the whole game. So, they're still up by 5 here.
Garcia in the backfield for the Lions. Takes a handoff, spins away from a would-be tackler, takes it to the right side, stays in bound, and Dorian Hernandez was forced to become a blocker on that play, and that's another hold-your-breath time for the Lions. And Grulla burns their final timeout, that is, of the second half, as Garcia was a couple yards short of a first down. And it comes down to this. 3rd and 2 for the LaFeria Lions. Grulla Gators are going to have to get a stop. The only time Garcia was stopped for no gain was the first carry he had tonight when he was hit for no gain. He followed that on the next 3 carries for a combined 31 yards to take him over an average of 10 yards a carry from that point forward. You would expect Garcia to get a touch on this one. Whoever's keeping the time. Well, I'm peering around a corner here. Most of our announcers won't even try to keep the time. I'm doing the best I can here, guys. I need to throw that disclaimer out there. It's not an official time. Running play, right side, first down. Garcia takes it. And that, by all stretch, should do it for the LaFeria Lions, as there's nothing the Grulla Gators can do now to stop the clock, as the ball is set at the 28 of the Gators on a first down play. Hernandez takes his time. Play clock still at 17 as he has him set down. Watches as the play clock runs down under 10 now. Gets down near 5, hands it off to Garcia. Gains a couple, no more than that. Second down coming up for the LaFeria Lions with 1:26 left in this game. Within a few seconds of the actual time. It's pretty easy right now. It's running. I can keep mine running. I can concentrate on just the statistics and the announcing side of this thing. Hernandez on second down for the Lions. Hands it off to Garcia again. Runs through a tackle. Spins down to the 20. And it brings up third down for the Lions. And they'll have to snap it one more time as the play clock and game clock are separated by about 20 seconds. I'm going to call it now. Angel Garcia is going to get my player of the game. Hacienda Ford player of the game. 28 carries, 275 yards. Lions line up in a victory formation here. They'll know they were tested here tonight in Rio Grande City by this Grulla Gator team. Dorian Hernandez takes a knee, and that will let it run out as the LaFeria Lions stay unbeaten on the season, but they were tested tonight on the road by a multiple set of circumstances, including a highly determined team on the home side by the Grulla Gators. But they win this by the score of 28-23 and set up a matchup against the Hidalgo Pirates next Friday for all the marbles and for a stake at an unbeaten regular season. Nevy Vasquez, it was Angel Garcia at some times just literally taking this team, putting them on them back and saying, let's go.
Well, especially in the second half. You know, the first half, like you say, there was a lot of things in the way. There was a lot of things that kind of didn't allow them to get a momentum going. Second half, it was all Angel Garcia. You know, it was all him getting the ball on the ground and being able to just, you know, carry his team on his back. The quarterback, you know, Hernandez had a lot to do with it as well. When the big plays needed to happen, you know, he was able to put the ball in the air to the right receivers, especially Flores. So again, you know, kudos to them. And again, they're the undefeated team in this district for a reason. You know, we'll still have to find out how Hidalgo did. But again, you still have LaFeria at the top. Hidalgo, depending on how they did, you know, they might still be undefeated as well. And then Grulla will fall to 0-2 in district. So, you know, a lot of different things wrapping up in this football season already for this district. Again, there's not a lot of teams. There's 5 in the district, so every game counts. every single game counts for them.
Grulla Gators, again, can take a lot of confidence out of this game that they went toe-to-toe with the LaFeria Lions and answered with some scores at times when it looked like the Lions may put the game away. Again, Angel Garcia goes for 28 carries, 275. He had 114 yards rushing in the first half, had topped that off with 160-plus in the second half in the win as the Lions rack up 453 yards. The Gators had 270 yards of offense, 158 on the ground, 112 through the air. And again, there were some bright spots for the Gators, including Vidal Lopez, who had 17 carries for 116 yards, and Santiago Cifuentes with 5 catches for 78 yards. And again, they had some bright spots on this team, which we had talked about that coming into this game, that they did have some playmakers that have made some highlight reels and capable of making big plays against some of the better teams. In this case, the best team left alive in this area as far as the Rio Grande Valley, undefeated 9-0 LaFeria Lions. Lions on the other side after Angel Garcia's 28 carries for 275. You look at Caleb Flores on the receiving side, 8 catches for 111 yards. Dorian Hernandez threw for 126 yards, also ran for 2 touchdowns, and a winning effort for the LaFeria Lions. Next week, the Lions are at home, by the way, against the Hidalgo Pirates. I saw someone post a question there on that one. That's going to do it for our broadcast. Tomorrow night, yours truly, I'll be in Mission for the Mission Eagles as they're at home against the Nicky Rowe Warriors. And that'll be a war between two teams unbeaten in district play from Tom Landry Stadium. Evie Vasquez, I think you're going to join me on that one in Tom Landry. Dress warm. It's going to be a cold one. We'll be in the press box, though. We'll be okay. Again, fans, we do thank you who all tuned into this game. On any given moment, our numbers just keep growing. Over 1 million views after today on YouTube alone on Rio Sports Live. Final thoughts, Evie?
Yeah, again, kudos to both teams. They left it all on the field. Like you said, the undefeated team came in and showed why. And the Gators, they proved the type of team that they can be, when their backs were against the wall, and they showed that they are just as explosive as any other team.
LaFeria Lions with the win, 28-23. Till next time from Rio Grande City. Good night.